Because I'm weird like that. I like to have my things have hemispheres.
Dale.
Yeah. Come on.
And then there's Dale.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh,
That's it.
How are we today? We ready for untold riches that await within the Vault of Dragons?
more money, yay!
I'm ready for D&D in general.
Yes. Well, we surely need it, so let's get straight
Yes.
into it. So
Been a
last time, because it has been a while, so I'll do a quick recap.
Mm-mm.
Last time, we had a daring escape from Xanathar's lair. Bulb and Sir Lucian were reduced to dust, while Bobbit and Narthel somehow managed to keep Xanathar distracted long enough for Ava to sneak into Xanathar's personal quarters and make off with the Stone
And
of
be
Golorr.
awesome.
Yep.
And
People were
so
awesome. Bobbit went herself. Good times, good times.
Xanathar discovered that the stone was missing just as everyone was escaping, but you all managed to reach the safety of Waterdeep's autumn wind-choked streets just in time. And Bobbit also put a order in Xanathar's kitchen that I will surely reference later.
Several people probably died from that.
It's probably the last thing he needed that particular day. But
Yeah.
so
Death.
Mm.
and so we've had some downtime since then. We've had a couple of days to catch your breath, to recover from the experience, for Sir Lucian to stave off some of the resurrection sickness, for Bulb to get used to his brand new owlfolk body, and for one of your number to attune to the hard-won Stone of Golorr. So before we get into the downtime stuff, who would like to attune to the Stone of Golorr?
Well, depending on what saves may or may not be needed, I have an attunement slot free.
Yes, so you're echoing really
You are
badly at the
echoing a
moment.
bit.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
Okay, apparently Kitty's microphone is a lot better than mine.
Yep.
It's too good.
Well, hers is a streaming one.
Yeah.
No, she's on his phone.
I'm on my phone.
If you give me a second, no, that won't work.
It's alright, we
dear.
can put up with it. It's not I can.
Sensitivity down.
I mean, those of you who are watching it the stream, you'll have to put up with it. But later on, when I put it on Spotify and stuff, I can fix that.
Oh, there you go. Alright then. So
If I
we.
have to, I can go into the other room.
That's what I used to do when we did D&D in person at Liam's. We kind of had to be in separate rooms, or we would
Yeah,
unfortunately.
everyone be heard everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're working on Bulb taking the stone.
Yep. So Bulb, you are going to attune to the Stone of Golorr. The Stone of Golorr is a glassy, greenish-grey stone that fits in the palm of your hand. And as you attune to it over the course of several days, this wondrous artifact requiring all your attention, you come to learn that the stone is not a stone at all, rather it is an aboleth named Golorr, who has been transformed by magic into an object, and within his mind he contains the knowledge of the location of the Vault of Dragons, amongst other things. The aboleth knows where Lord Neverember's secret vault is located. He informs you that the vault is located within the Brandeth family mausoleum in the center of Waterdeep's City of the Dead. And that within the Brandeth family crypt is a secret entrance to the Vault of Dragons. He also informs you that the vault is apparently guarded by a gold dragon named Oranax, who works for Lord Neverember, ensuring that nobody steals his gold. would like you to please roll a D100.
Yep, I just gotta pour all my dice.
Is that picking it up more or less?
Yeah, is it picking me up now, or?
Yeah, it's picking you up. Yeah, much better.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll a D100.
Okay, that is an 11.
An 11. Very well. The minor beneficial property of the Stone of Golorr is that while attuned to it, you are immune to disease.
Oh. Okay, that could be interesting.
I would like you to roll another D100, please.
Which is going to
here comes-
be even worse.
Here comes the downsides.
That's a 96.
96. While you are attuned to the artifact, you must eat and drink 6 times the normal amount each day.
God.
That,
You don't
good
eat
berries
lots of
are all
food.
sustenance, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So Goodberry will still feed you properly.
That's
Okay,
a
so-
hungry birdie boy.
I'm just gonna take Glitberry as a first level spell, and if need be, I'll eat 6 of them.
In addition, while you're attuned to the Stone of Golorr, it has 3 charges, regains 1d3, expended charges daily at dawn. While you're holding the stone, you can expend one of its charges to cast the Legend Lore spell. This will allow you to communicate directly with the aboleth stored within, and he will share his knowledge with you on whatever on a specific person, place, or object that you wish to know about.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Neat.
see it's still picking you up.
So Bulb, that is your downtime. Bobbit, how will you spend your downtime after that thrilling escapade in Xanathar's lair?
Well, I'd like to do a little bit with some of that gunpowder that we picked up, since 250 pounds of gunpowder needs to go somewhere rather than just a coat pocket. So I was wondering. Originally, I was looking to make like small bombs, but now I'm thinking, could I possibly make like incendiary ammo for my gun if need be?
Incendiary ammo for your gun, yes. Go ahead, and it will take a quarter of the gunpowder to get this preliminary tinkering done. Go ahead and roll a Tinker Tools check, please.
Okay. That's an proficiency. That's a 19.
A 19. Wonderful. It ends up being easier than you thought it would be. It only takes a day or 2 of tinkering, but you manage to use that gunpowder to create some incendiary ammo for your gun. You gain 2d6 incendiary bullets, and each of these bullets, when fired, will deal an extra dice of damage, and it will be fire damage.
So that's obviously working on my gun's damage, correct?
Yes.
And well, that's going to be 6 bullets because I rolled a 5 and a 1, but it's better than nothing.
That's better than nothing. You just make sure you use them carefully, and you still have 3 quarters of the gunpowder left. Is there anything else you would like to do in your downtime? Have something to do with that deed to that parcel of land in Scotland?
Yeah, obviously I was going to say, I'd like to go and get that checked out, because, I kind of picked it up just as a random thing, and then actually took 5 minutes to look at it and go, what if this is worth anything? So obviously we'll go and show it to someone important, go, look, Bobbit has a piece of paper, what does this do?
So you take it to the Palace of Waterdeep, and you spend the better part of a day sitting in the lobby, just waiting for a magistrate to actually let you come in and see them. And after all that waiting, the magistrate just takes a quick glance at the deed, shrugs, and boredly says, looks fine to me. It appears that they don't even bother to check whether the place on the deed is real or not. Rather, they simply notice that it has an official seal of the Waterdeep the Waterdeep Chamber of Diplomacy stamped at the bottom, and take this to be sufficient proof of its authenticity. So the magistrate just signs something at the bottom of the form, and then she looks at you and she says, "Well, it's all notarized, and everything seems fine to me, so you shall go down in the records, and welcome to Waterdeep, Lady Bobbert of..." She glances down at the piece of paper. "Scotland."
Yay!
Scotland.
Scotland! Immediately go home and start making up laws. Random question before we go any further. Was there any particular, I know anti-magic doesn't work too well with Bobbert, was there any effects from being near Xanathar as long as she was?
So, after you get home from the palace, and you've spent most of the day there, so the sun's coming down by the time you get back to Trollskull Manor. You just have time to eat a quick dinner and then head down to your bedroom, start getting ready to go to bed, and you fall asleep that night with a smile on your face, happy that you are a Lady Bobbert of Scotland, and you're pretty much on par with Sir Lucian now, in terms of rank. And then...
Oh god, that's scary.
After you fall asleep, you have a strange, extremely realistic dream. And I will just swap the music for that.
Oh, God. That bodes well.
You feel the harsh sunlight upon your face, and open your eyes, and you find yourself standing on what appears to be a balcony constructed entirely of stone, the floor just cobblestone, and the fencing made of intricately carved stone. Behind you, you see the brick and stone wall of what appears to be the upper portion of a step pyramid. And confused, you look around more, and you find, as you move to the edge of the balcony and look over the railing, you see a vast city of stone and marble stretching out before you, bigger than even Waterdeep, bustling with activity as people fill the streets, at this height appearing to be nothing more than coloured specks, small as ants scurrying about their business. The harsh sunlight is reflected from the stone buildings and gives everything a sort of pale white haze that emanates from it. And then, in the very distance, beyond the outer limits of the city, you can see jungle. Thick, primeval jungle stretching off seemingly forever beyond the horizon. Do you have any reaction to seeing this?
Bobbert's in awe at first and is going to look around, maybe... Well, you said she's on a balcony, or is she, like, in a room?
You're on a balcony, yes. Seems to be adjoining a room that's part of a step pyramid.
Okay, Bobbert might turn around to see if there's anything in the room inside the where the balcony leads to.
As you turn around, the bead curtains that are strung across the stone doorway rattle and part, and you see an olive-skinned man with golden dreadlocks step out towards you, looking extremely regal and dignified in a cloak of in a cloak of many different brightly coloured silk fabrics with a gold trim. He beams, smiling at you as he sees you. He says, "Take it in, my daughter. One day it will all be yours." What do you say?
Oh, okay. Just go turn around and. Is there any defining marks of this man? Like anything I could, like, try and research later?
I'd like you to make an investigation check, please.
So 19.
19.
If you figure out where it is, I can use one of my charges to use legend lore.
You can. 19. You notice that, first of all, the man's face appears sort of instinctually familiar to you, as if you know who he is but can't quite recall. That's not really much of a distinguishing mark. Rather, what you notice is that his robe, at least the chest, the torso part of his robe, is emblazoned with a strange insignia. It is an insignia of a triangle, a pyramid, with what appears to be a wizard's hat sitting on top of the point, and two wooden staves crossed in front of it like a coat of arms. It's sewn into his cloak with golden thread. You commit this to memory, and then, as you wonder what to say next, the man continues. He says, "One day, and hopefully not soon, though I fear that Russ Nee is going to make his move. One day I will be gone, and it will be up to you to guide the people of this city into a world that they no longer remember, a world that they cannot understand. It will be up to you to guide them into this new world, to learn the mysteries that have brewed within the clouds of time, and ensure that our kingdom stands tall as it once was." With that, he smiles at you again. He opens his mouth as if he's going to say something, and then you hear a female voice from somewhere inside the step pyramid call out, "My liege!" The man turns around. The beaded curtains rattle once again, and they part, revealing the same woman from your previous memory, the one who was with you in the jungle, hiding in amongst the trees from strange noises. As she sees both you and the man, she curtsies, and then she smiles at you and she says, "Ah, my lady, looking radiant as ever, I see. That's good, that's good. I fear we may have a long journey ahead of us, so take in everything that you can, commit it to memory." The man with dreadlocks turns to this woman and he says, Now, Messica, let us not fill my daughter's mind with fear, at least not yet at this juncture. There are many variables to keep track of, and our future, as of yet, is still uncertain. He says we must discuss with the rest of the council. He takes a step towards the curtains, and then, before he moves back into the step pyramid, he looks over his shoulder to you, and he says, "Enjoy your day, my daughter. spend your time living your life, and we will discuss this later. He smiles at you once again, and then the dream ends, and you find yourself awakening in your bed in the cellar of Troll Skull Manor.
Bobbit is going to immediately run over, find a paper and something to write with, and immediately try to draw the symbol she saw in her dream.
Luckily, in this oddly lucid, realistic dream, you had enough foresight to commit this insignia to memory. And so, as you pull out a piece of parchment and a quill, as Blinky hovers over your shoulder, you're able to draw a pretty reasonable facsimile of it.
Bobbit's just going to sit there staring at it and just very quietly just say to herself, I don't know why this is important, but I need to know more. Just look back at her staff that's next to her bed and go, I guess he's the only one that has answers now.
You hear the staff's voice in your mind. Ava, what did you wish to do during the couple days of downtime?
I believe I am attuning to a longbow.
Yes, you are attuning to the longbow that Bobbit has provided for you. Is there anything
Which I need to write down what the details are for that.
So that is, it gets +1 to attack and damage rolls, and also to attack and damage rolls, and also it magically generates its own ammunition. So it has unlimited arrows.
Unless, of course, you choose to use like your warping. Yeah, like the warping ones.
Yeah. But if they're just normal arrows, those will be unlimited. Is there anything else you would like to do? As attuning to this bow is nowhere near as intensive as bulb attuning to the Stone of Golorr.
Yeah. Well, I'll do my usual thing, take care of everybody.
Yep.
So I'll make some healing potions.
Lovely. Because you were attuning, you didn't have time to acquire more ingredients. So you'll have to make do with what you've got left in storage. So just go ahead and make a herbalism kit check. Just normal, please. No advantage.
Alright. I will have to do that in chat. Oh, true. Okay, I'll do it. I'll lean over.
I'll be right back. Just getting the food.
Oh. That is... What is my proficiency currently?
Plus.
Yeah, it should be
Sorry,
+3.
it's hard. It's hard working off my...
Off your phone, yeah. It'd be +3, your proficiency.
That was only an 8.
An 8? Well, you can brew either 2 potions of healing or 2 basic poisons.
I'll go with healing.
Unfortunately, you only have enough ingredients in storage to make 2, but you feel that it's better than nothing. So you spend the rest of your downtime basically scrounging up tiny bits of ingredients, anything that's left in amongst your impromptu nest on the 2nd floor of Troll Skull Manor, and making do with what you have. And so now, the story continues in earnest. You are currently all assembled in the tap room.
Just a sec.
Yep.
How many potions do you have?
2.
Bobbit. No.
Oh,
Bobbit.
how many do you have? Yep.
I don't think Bobbit has any at the moment.
Okay. Let me just get out of the room.
Sir Lucian has 2. I have his sheet here.
Wait, did I get 2 last time? I know I definitely used 1. I might have 1, actually.
How many potions?
Yeah, how many potions do you have?
2.
Alright, I'll give both to Bobbit.
Alright, both to
thank you.
Bobbit. Very well. Okay.
That way we all have 2.
Yay.
Pepsi.
And so here you are in the tap room of Troll Skull Manor. You've just finished a meager brunch. Produce is getting hard to come by as you're in the tail end of autumn now. Winter is just around the corner, and the strong autumn winds rattle at the window panes and walls of the tavern building. And just as you're cleaning up,
And I'm back. Sorry
Yep.
about that.
just as you're cleaning up, Bobbit, did you want Bulb to know about your dream?
Well, Bob is going to tell people, but obviously at an arm's length,
Yes,
considering
tell
how
your
well
mother.
considering how well the last time this little whole "hey, Bobbit wants to share stuff with everyone" sort of went. So Bobbit will basically walk over, very quickly hug Bulb because she wants hugs from the small, cute little owl thing, and then pull out the
Hey.
piece of. What?
We should.
It's a
we
small
should.
child. It's a 2-foot tall owl thing. Hugs.
Yeah, we should clarify that after I got reincarnated, I came
You're
back as
tiny.
a 2 foot 3 inches, 8-pound brown owl person.
You were tiny.
I am
Okay.
tiny, itty bitty.
So yeah, Bobbit's going to basically pull out the piece of paper and just put it in front of Bulb, going, Bobbit had another one of, well, obviously, and Ava as well, because I wouldn't exclude Ava, because, you know, Yay loves Traver. Bobbit had
Thank you.
I was never going to exclude you. Wouldn't do that. Or a group, team, Yay.
As you
Yeah,
place
but-
the parchment on the table, you hear a loud clang from the background as Sir Lucian slams his flagon down on the table of his private booth, looks over at you, shrugs, and then reaches for the flagon right next to it and takes a loud slurp.
Bobbit will shrug right back and look back over and going, Bobbit had another. Bob, she's not sure if it was a dream or another memory, but there was a man there who kept calling me his daughter, and there was this symbol on him, and Bobbit doesn't know what this is.
At this point, Veska has drifted over from behind the bar, her arms still laden with dirty dishes, and she's just hovering over your shoulder, looking down at the symbol. A look of puzzlement on her face, her lips curled in intrigue. Bulb, what would you like to do?
Now that I've attuned to this stone thingy, and I hold up this stone that is like probably half the size of me, I'm guessing.
Yep.
So I'm actually holding it up with both hands and like leaning back and doing the whole holding something that's too heavy toddler thing. And I go, it has granted me the ability to. I don't tell them about the living thing that it is. However, I do say that it has granted me the ability to acquire knowledge on specific things a few times a day. If you would like, I can ask it about this symbol.
Bobbit's just gonna sit there and just wait for him to do it.
So you will expend a use of Legends Lore?
Yes, I will.
Very well. You run your fingers over the carvings on the stone and focus your eyes on the insignia that Bobbit has drawn on the parchment. The aboleth inside the stone says, didn't think I'd see that anytime soon. And it imparts the knowledge that it has to you. It tells you that this is the insignia of the Kingdom of Mesro, one of the great kingdoms of Cholt of the past. However, the city of Mesro itself is nothing more than a ruin at at this point in time, as all of its population mysteriously disappeared about 200 years ago, with no clues or explanation as to where they went or why. These ruins of Mesro to this day are a popular place visited by archaeologists and researchers and treasure hunters attempting to divine the mystery of the fate of the Mesroans.
Is Bobbit 200 years old?
You don't know.
Bobbit
Bulb,
doesn't know.
Are you imparting all this, Bulb?
Yeah, I'm telling it word for word as it enters my mind. Now, here's a meta question. Does the Aboleth... Well, here's something that Bob would like to know. Does the Aboleth just know things, or is this from its own gathering of information?
This is from its own gathering of information. It does know a lot.
Yep.
And it cannot lie to you. It must always tell the truth, but yeah, it is bound by... It knows a little bit about everything. This Aboleth is thousands of years old, and
yeah.
has seen
So
a lot.
it's not like I can now go spend a thing and go, what was the cataclysm?
Yeah,
no. Unless it knew it specifically, it doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And
So
as
that's how
you
this
say
works.
the word Mesro, you notice Ava's feathers perk up, because Ava, you recognize the word Mesro. Although it's not known to you by that name, that is the human name for it, you understand the word Mesro as being the human name for the lost city, abandoned city, where your tribe of Arakocra currently take residence in Cholt.
That's my home.
Wait, you live there?
I do, or did.
Your tribe
My
does
family
not
is
know
there.
anything about what happened to the previous inhabitants. Your tribe simply decided that as this was a place that had no other inhabitants, you would live there, and you quickly recount to the rest of the group how your tribe primarily lives in what is the remnants of what once would have been the royal aviary of Mesro, using the giant bird cages as huts.
Which is kind
if
of
it's
awesome.
200 years, to say if it disappeared 200 years ago, why does Bobbit remember it like it was when it was working?
I don't know.
Was
Maybe
that-
a past life.
Is that Bobbit's memory or someone else's? I was just gonna
It
keep
could
looking
be
at
the memory of an ancestor.
Bobbit's gonna just keep looking at Mr. Stick as she ponders over this.
Bulb would like to suggest that a second use would be for information on the royal family of Mesro.
Very well.
If you would like that. He
Bobbit,
asks
would you like
Bobbit.
to consent to that?
Oh, he just muted himself.
He just muted himself.
Sorry, had to
Would you-
answer a question.
Would you consent to Bulb doing that?
Okay, what? Sorry,
Bulb suggested that he can use another one of his legend laws to find out all the information that this stone knows about the royal family of Mesro. The last known royal family members.
And we can do that. On the other hand, do we want to use up all these things in one go? Like,
Oh, well, what
It does
day is this?
recover-
Sorry, Dale.
It will recover 1d3 charges at the start of each day. So this is the day this is present day. This is after downtime. So you'll only have one more use left today if you use it. It's up to you.
Well, we could always ask that question after the next day, like once we get past this.
True. It's already told. I've already figured out. It's already. Oh, by the way, I tell everyone where the hoard is.
Yeah, where the
yeah, no,
closet
it's-
is. Yep.
Yeah, it's already told me that. It's told me that a gold dragon guards the place. I could ask if there's like how exactly to get in unharmed, like if there's any traps leading into it or anything.
That would be a
Could
smart
do
thing to
that.
do. See, I'm kind of torn at the moment. See, because I know Bobbit would want to learn as much as humanly possible as quickly as possible, but
She also
me
wants
personally,
the treasure.
me personally, I don't want to waste
Yeah.
all the things so we can get through. So, do I go with in character? Do I go with myself? Because if you ask it a safe way to get in plus the backstory, that's like all 3 uses done and dusted for the day.
Yeah.
Roll for it.
If that's what Bobbit would want, then that's what Bobbit would want.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty much where we're at. So, yeah. All right. Well, enough of the metagaming. Bobbit will allow him to check in on the family.
yeah, she's kind of keenly just jumping up and down, and as she asks, Veska curls her lips and says, "Yes, please, Bulb, if you wouldn't mind. I must say, this has got me curious." So, Bulb, you use up a second use, and you hear the Aboleth once again ponder. And he imparts to you that Mesro, as such, did not have a royal family. It was a sacred city to the Tabaxi of Chult,
Ooh.
and as the largest population centre in Old Chult, it was actually governed by a council of 12 known as the Chosen of Ubtao. It says most of their names have been lost to time. However, one of the Chosen of Ubtao, the only one who is not a Tabaxi, and as such had his name recorded by many of the human civilizations of Chult, is known to society. His name was Dull Mass, a member of House Rayburton, the only non-Tabaxi member of the Chosen of Ubtao, and, according to the records, a mage of considerable renown, specializing in the manipulation of extraplanar energies. There are also some minor records referring to his most promising student. Dalmas was approached by many mages throughout his time, each of them seeking to learn from him, but he always refused to take on students until, not long before the city of Mesro disappeared, he finally did take on a student, his own daughter, Alessandra.
How the hell do you spell that right now?
Alisanda. There are unfortunately no more mentions of her in any records, as shortly after her education under her father began, the population of the city seemingly wiped from existence.
How did you spell the house name as well?
Rayburton, Rayburton.
But I was just going to sit there.
This has been an interesting info dump.
You're telling me.
Feels almost anticlimactic to ask how to get to the port.
Yeah, it's still us. That's still us. Good. Anyway, Robert's going to just thank you very much for your time, and then just sit very quietly trying to take this in.
You see Veska just open her mouth in stunned silence, and then before you have a chance to even react to this information, the front door of Trollskull Manor bursts open, swinging wildly in the wind. You all look up, and you see, standing there in the doorway, the harried figure of Rainier Neverember. His hair blowing about his face in the wind, and his hand pulling his cloak tightly around him as he makes his way into your tavern and pushes the door shut behind him. As he pushes it shut, it is caught by the wind and slams loudly. Bang! He coughs and catches his breath. And then he looks around, taking a step across the tap room, and he says, nodding, nice. Volo said you'd done a good job getting this place up and running. I'm impressed. He notices you all gathered around the table, still sort of looking shocked from the information that Bulb has divulged, and then he scratches his messed up hair and he says, is this a bad time?
Just learning things.
He says, anything I could help with?
Don't know. I'm currently sitting on the stone now.
Yep.
Aww.
Just swinging my legs.
Yeah, just imagine it being like a bird on top of a giant egg.
Rainier clears his throat and he says, well, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he brushes some autumn leaves off the front of his cloak and breastplate, and he says, it looks like you've got an audience with Lady Silverhand and the other lords of Waterdeep. Right now. He smiles at you.
Ooh.
Whatever.
Who?
Oh, they want the stone. Who? Who?
He says, well, let's just say your escapades in Xanathar's lair have become, well, let's say an open secret in amongst certain populations in the city, and as such, the Lord's Alliance, after they've done their bit to resurrect Sir Lucian over there, have passed this information up the echelons to Lady Silverhand, and she's called a meeting with you right away. I am to escort you to the Palace of Waterdeep. He says, unless there's something else that's more pressing at this point in time.
No. Is there anything else we want to ask, or are we good
Screw
to go?
you, hippies.
I'll take that as we're going. Or
I guess. Bulb is suspicious that maybe Lady Neverember is going to try and take the stone from us.
well, we can hold on to it if you're worried about it.
Maybe Bobbit should hold on to the stone because Bulb has nowhere to put it.
Perhaps seeming to understand your concern, Rainier smiles. He holds up his hand and says, please, Bulb, you may leave the stone here. Lady Silverhand does not wish to acquire it from you. Merely, it is of my belief that she only wishes to forge an alliance.
In our defense, the last time we met a Lord of Waterdeep, we lost 2 people.
He smiles and he says, yes, Lady Silverhand is investigating those allegations, but so far we have not turned up any proof that Xanathar is indeed, as he said, the Lord of Waterdeep. It would be quite concerning for
Allegations.
the
We
city.
brought friends home in a jar.
No longer a lizard.
Rainier simply says, it would be quite concerning for the city if he was.
Yeah.
He says,
well.
he says the lords do not like to be kept waiting, so ensure you have everything you need, and we shall get on our way. Oh, he says, bring something warm. The winds are vicious out there today.
A bulb still gives the stone to Bobbit
Yep.
because he's not leaving it here.
Leaving
Okay,
it here.
I was gonna say, as I know he's attuned to it, but I can hold on to it, right?
Yeah, you can hold on to it.
I was gonna say, have Bobbit just put it in the pocket. You just hear somewhere a very, very faint, crashing sound. Bobbit just looks in the pocket and goes, "Ah, Bobbit's library was already alphabetized. Oh well."
So you gather your cold weather cloaks, pull them around you, and follow Rainier Neverember out into the streets of Waterdeep. The white marble palace of the city's lords stands as a beacon of the incorruptibility of their rule over this city. This shining marble tower houses the Lord's Court. Embassies from other city-states are members of the Lord's Alliance, and nations and the officers of the city's officials, including those from the city guard and watch. Rainier leads you inside the palace, and you pass through the large, open reception area that Bobbit recently spent the better part of a day waiting in. Rainier simply leads you right through it, passing by the clerks that are currently addressing a great line of people almost reaching the door outside and escorting you through a hallway behind them, up a spiral stairwell, and down another hallway, coming face to face with two large wooden doors engraved with intricate designs of all of the Lord's symbology. These doors tower over you. The entire room is far taller than you. In fact, you suspect that quite easily a giant would be able to fit in here. Waiting in front of the door are three people that you recognize. The first of them, wearing a cloak of the Lord's Alliance and stroking his black moustache, Mert, the advisor to the Lord's Alliance. The second, currently with his face buried in a roll of parchment, Volothamp Gadam, the famous writer, and next to him, peering over his shoulder, whispering in his ear and pointing out small changes to make as he goes along, his impromptu editor, Mickey McGrood.
Yay, fun guy!
They all look up at you as you approach. Mert smiles, twirls his moustache, and then Volo greets you. He waves at you and he says, you're here. We received the same summons as you. He says, apparently, Layril Silverhand wishes to forge an alliance.
Interesting.
Yay?
Rainier Neverember greets his longtime friend Volo by shaking his hand. And he says, well, if everyone's ready, I believe we should enter the Lord's chambers. He looks at you each in turn. Are there any last-minute questions or anything you would like to do before entering?
Just for shits and giggles, can I roll stealth just to go unnoticed? Not to hide, but just to go unnoticed?
Yeah,
go
just
ahead and roll stealth.
Just admit you want to test out the...
yes, I want to test out my new skill.
That's what I thought.
Go ahead. Roll a stealth.
That's a 15.
There you go. It's still better than the ones you were throwing in Jennifer's lair. You're not trying to flash people anymore.
As Rainier steps ahead of you, stands in front of the door and recites a magical phrase, and the doors rumble as they begin to slowly open. Bulb, you pull your cloak around yourself, and you slowly make your way to the back of the group, and then as the doors fully open, admitting the group into the court on the other side, you linger behind them just a little bit, sheltering behind Volo and Mert, as you follow them into the courtroom, and nobody looks at you specifically as you enter. You all find yourselves in a vast circular marble chamber. Its domed roof towering above you at least 40 feet in the air. The sheer amount of marble almost blinding you with its radiance. In front of you, seated upon 12 velvet silk thrones, are the Lords of Waterdeep. In the very center of them, Layrel Silverhand, a half-elven woman of about 30 years old, with beautifully pale skin, regal beauty emanating from her, and shining silver hair made up into a series of elaborate braids coming out of the top and sides of her head. To her left and right are the other Lords of Waterdeep, each of them wearing nothing more than featureless brown cloaks, white masks covering their faces, leaving their identities anonymous, even to Lady Silverhand herself, the Open Lord of Waterdeep, the figurehead of the Lords of Waterdeep, and the only one whose identity is known to the populace. As you enter, she smiles, holds out a hand, and beckons for you to approach.
Okie dokes.
Yep.
As you all approach, what do you do?
Even though Bulb is now thinking he's hidden, because I doubt he's fully hidden, because there would be people watching everywhere, he bows behind everybody.
Bow behind everybody.
Bobbit does her best attempt at a curtsy, despite never really doing so before.
I'd like you to do a perform check, please, Bobbit.
Oh, God.
Nat 1 falls on face.
No, do I even have anything for performance? Oh, okay. It's a 12.
So, Bobbit, despite having never done a curtsy, you somehow managed to perform an adequate one. It's almost as if these motions are buried in your subconscious, and you're performing them off some forgotten muscle memory. You curtsy in front of the Lords of Waterdeep, and Layrel Silverhand smiles and nods. She raises her hand, beckoning you all to rise. And then she says, "You are the adventurers who have acquired the Stone of Golorr, the proprietors of the tavern in Trollskull Alley. Am I correct?"
Who's speaking for the group on this one?
Not Bulb, because Bulb now has a -1.
So Lucian simply steps forwards and takes another bow and nods and says, "Yes, my lady. We have done our best, hopefully, to resolve this situation that is currently plaguing the city." Lady Silverhand says, "Very well. You may not know it, but through your actions so far, you have done many services to the city, and I personally would like to present my gratitude for your actions." She says, "Please, I already know Sir Scuttlebutt, but the rest of you are unknown to me. Please, introduce yourselves. I am Lady Layrel Silverhand Runson, the current Open Lord of Waterdeep, and I am at your service." She gestures towards Mickey McGrood, who bows and says, "Mickey McGrood, bard, writer, and current editor of Volothamp Gadam." Volo simply nods. Rainier bows and says, "Rainier Neverember, friend to Volo, and to these fine adventurers here, son of the disgraced Dagolt Neverember." She gestures towards Ava.
I'm Ava. Woo!
Ava, clearly out of her element, simply says, I am Ava. Despite this, Lady Silverhand simply nods patiently and says, it is nice to finally meet you, Ava. She looks over everyone's shoulders and says, and there he is. You there, small owl folk. Who are you?
Bulb just shuffles out from behind everybody and goes, Bulbasaur, I am, and I try to bow again.
I'd like you to make a perform check, please. Actually, no, you're not used to bowing, you're just gonna mimic everyone else. Do a perform check, please.
Got a nat 1.
You
You
attempt
fake
to
plan.
bow, but you're not used to this etiquette, and also you're not really used to this owl-folk body yet, and so you find yourself toppling over and falling face first onto the marble floor.
Aww.
Ava and Bobbit quickly help to lift you
I
up.
laugh at him.
No,
And-
Bobbitt's gonna help him up. We're trying
Bobbit
not to
helps
laugh
him
at
up
himself.
while
And help.
Ava laughs and helps him
Yeah,
up.
Bobbit does the same.
Lady Silverhand just smiles, a sort of amused laugh, and she says, uncultured perhaps, but you are earnest enough. And that's what counts. She looks towards Bobbit, and just as she's about to ask Bobbit her name, the great oaken doors open behind you, and a soldier of the Lord's Alliance shuffles in. He quickly bows to the Lords. He says, forgive me for my intrusion, my lady, and other lords, but I have a missive quickly passed up from the Department of Records. When they heard that you were having this meeting, they had it sent up immediately. My apologies. He hands a small scroll to Lady Silverhand, who takes it from him, and she unfurls it. She clears her throat and she says, we have a distinguished guest with us here today. The Lady Bobbit of Scootland.
Bobbit sort of awkwardly shuffles forward, trying not to make... Well, actually, making slight eye contact at Sir Lucian as she walks past to introduce herself.
Sir Lucian just looks back at you, and then he says loudly, Lady Bobbit? What noble house is she part of? The soldier clears his throat, and standing next to Lady Silverhand, he looks down at the parchment, and he says, well, it's right here, signed and notarized by one of the magistrates of the Department of Records. She is Lady Bobbit of Scoutland.
Bobbit's just smiling very innocently in Sir Lucian's direction, going, yeah, turns out Bobbit was a lady this whole time. Didn't you know that?
Sir Lucian just looks at you, he frowns, and he says, my lady, lords, have any of you ever heard of this, Scoutland? A murmur moves through the Lords of Waterdeep, and Lady Silverhand says, well, I must admit, as to my knowledge, the city of Waterdeep and the Lord's Alliance have never once had dealings with this, Scoutland place. But we welcome relations from new unknown lands, and as Lady Bobbit is here today, we welcome her to our court in the interests of welcoming the people of the Scoutland as our friends.
Bobbit will...
Oh, sorry.
Yep, no, please go.
Belle, can I do an insight check to see if she's being nicer than she normally would be?
Go ahead.
On the lady or on
the
me?
lady? No, on the lady.
Ah.
Just to see if she's putting on an act of being a lot nicer than she normally is.
No, that's fair.
And that's a 17.
A 17. She seems mostly to kind of be confused, but because she's trying... She's clearly confused because she's never heard of this land, but because she's trying to, sort of strike up a friendship with you, she seems to just be rolling with it and not really bothering to ask questions. And you assume
So she's not like being completely different to what she normally is.
No. She's just sort of rolling with it in the interests of making this interaction go smoothly as possible. And you get that the rest of the masked lords are kind of feeling the same way.
Okay.
So Lucian says, very well then, but if this, Scoutland was a real place, do you not think that Waterdeep, as by far the greatest city on the Sword Coast, arguably in all of Faerun, as the crown jewel of the Lord's Alliance, would we have not seen diplomats from this country before now? How is it that this young girl is the very first we've ever seen? Lady Silverhand just smiles and says, Now, Sir Scuttlebutt, I'm sure there is a logical answer to this. I'm sure there are other encounters with Scoutland in the records. In fact, we can confirm it right now. She looks down at the soldier and she says, you there, you have a sending stone upon you. He nods. She says, ask the Keeper of Records if there is indeed any other recorded encounters with diplomats from Scoutland, just to satisfy Sir Scuttlebutt's curiosity here. The soldier raises his sending stone and puts the order through, and you wait for a few moments, and as there's silence for a few minutes, Sir Lucian just sort of sits there, fidgeting in his armor, looking over at Bobbit with a huge frown on his face.
Bobbit's just had the same very sweet and innocent smile on her face this entire time as she looks at him.
Finally, the soldier clears his throat. He says, well, here's the thing, my lady. According to the records, Lady Bobbit is indeed the first and only visitor we've ever had from Skoneland.
I like that one.
Lady Silverhand nods and she says, oh, well, henceforth then, as we have no other records of any other nobility from distant Skoneland, we have no choice but to regard Lady Bobbit as a representative of that nation's royal family.
Eh?
You look over and you see Sir Lucian just red in the face as Lady Silverhand curtsies to Bobbit and says, I, as the Open Lord of Waterdeep, humbly welcome you to my court. Her Highness, the Queen of Skoneland.
Hey, Bobbit,
Wish
about
I
half
was
Bobbit's innocence falters for like half a second as she almost loses composure on that, and then just curtsies back, go, it is an honor to make your acquaintance, and then turns to Sir Lucian and goes, I understand if there are any hard feelings between us on this endeavor, I apologize for not introducing myself beforehand, but as a token apology, I will allow you one friendly friendship hug of Scotland. It is a rare gift from royalty, and I hope you accept it as such. And offers her arms out for a hug.
Still red in the face, he purses his lips, and then he sighs and begrudgingly holds out his hands.
No, it's a hug.
He sighs and steps forwards, embracing you in a hug.
And as he does, Bobbit's as quietly as possible to the point where only Sir Lucian can possibly hear. Very similar to what he did at the end of last session. Bobbit just casually leans in and whispers almost silently in his ear, read this, you fucking casual. And then goes out and steps back with the most, to everyone else, the most innocent grin she's ever had, and to Sir Lucian, something more akin to the most hit-eating grin she's ever had. And then just steps back with the rest of the group.
As the hug breaks away, Sir Lucian, still red in the face, just shuffles back to the end of the line, muttering under his breath, "It's not even a bloody real place."
Bob walks up to Bobbit, tugs on his sleeve and goes, "Do you want me to ask if Scotland's real? Because I can do that."
Bobbit just looks over and says, "Maybe later, not now, not now."
You're just enjoying it.
Stay quiet. Stay quiet. There's a knighthood in this for you.
Lady Silverhand.
I try to bow again and walk away.
Lady Silverhand clears her throat. She curtsies again, and then brushes one of the silver braids out of her face. She dismisses the soldier, and then she says, "Well, now that formalities are concluded, let us get to the purpose of this meeting." She says, "You have acquired the Stone of Golorr. That much has come to the attention of the Lord's Alliance." She says, "As such, we would like to propose an alliance of sorts. The Vault of Dragons currently contains 500,000 gold coins, or thereabouts. They were embezzled by the previous Open Lord, Dagult Neverember. Embezzled from the citizens of Waterdeep, from the taxpayers, and hidden away before his forced resignation and before he departed to become the Lord of Neverwinter. He had these ill-gotten coins hidden away in the Vault of Dragons, and ever since I ascended his office, it has been one of my top priorities to locate and recover these embezzled funds." She looks at each of you in turn. She says,
"I got here just a tad too late for all that interaction."
Yeah, it's okay, M1. You missed Bobbit's getting back at you for threatening to hit her, but that's all water under the bridge now. Bobbit somehow got herself pronounced as Queen of Scotland by Waterdeep, and thus now outranks Sir Lucian on the nobility scale.
Oh my god.
And so Lucian is kind of just stewing because he knows that Scotland it's not a place that exists, so how could she be queen of it? But
I don't know, someone recognised that, so we'll find more out later.
Yep. And so Lady Silverhand looks at each of you in turn, and she says, "As such, on the behalf of the Lord's Alliance and the Lords of Waterdeep, I would like to propose that you enter the Vault of Dragons under our employ as our servants, secure the gold, and as a reward for donating it back to the city of Waterdeep, to the people of Waterdeep, we shall allow you to keep a sum no more nor less than 10% of the total amount of currency."
Bob, did you say 10%?
She nods. 10%.
50,000.
She nods. She says yes. 50,000 gold pieces. We shall offer
Bob
you...
starts doing the math in his head about how many animated pots that could be.
Bobbit is trying really hard not to fall over at this point. Just...
She raises her finger and she says, "But this will be offered to you as a gift from the city of Waterdeep for outstanding services to the city. You will go down in the records as heroes of Waterdeep, friends of the Lord's Alliance, and as such, to be eligible for this reward, you must pledge You must pledge to do only that which you are told by myself or my delegates once you enter the vault, and furthermore, when you acquire Lord Neverember's embezzled funds, to immediately secure them and pledge them to the Lords of Waterdeep.
Should we be
I
telling them
pledge
about the
allegiance
smaller... I was
to
going to say,
the
should we be telling them
United-
how we've promised pretzels to the flag? Should we be telling them about the small amount we promised to the Emerald Enclave as well?
Yeah, this will probably be your time to mention this.
Yeah. Bobbit will... does anyone else want to sell them that, or do you just want Bobbit to go for it?
Bulb's only heard of it secondhand.
Yeah, so
he was
Bobbit,
obviously dead at the time.
Technically dead.
so Bobbit,
Yeah.
go ahead and mention it to them. How would you like to word
Bobbit
this?
goes, my, apologies, lady, my lady. We previously have promised a small amount to the Emerald Enclave after they were so generous to allow us to resurrect our fallen comrades after the incident in Xanathar's guild. Only a small amount, but enough to pay off our debt to them. And as a royal member of the great land of Sconeland, it would be an insult to not honor a debt.
I'd like you to make a persuade check with advantage, please.
Hey.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, where's persuasion? Actually, decent persuasion, didn't I? Yes, I believe I'll do. Oh dear lord, I rolled a 3 and an 18, so that's gonna be 25 for persuasion.
Lady Silverhand purses her lips. She looks left and right, silently gauging the opinions of the masked lords. And then she sighs and she says, "Very well. In the interests of maintaining a show of good faith to the newly discovered kingdom of Sconeland, we shall offer an additional 10% to the Emerald Enclave, leaving 400,000 for the people of Waterdeep." She says, "I trust, as a representative of both Sconeland and the Emerald Enclave, that you will accept this offer."
Are we all good with this?
Bulb is not overly thrilled to basically be taking orders from someone where he has to follow them. It's
fair.
more of a we will get you the money for the reward, but he wants to do it the way the party decides, not how someone who's not actually involved decides how to do it.
I'd like you to make a persuade check, please, Bulb.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, this is why I was negotiating.
Well, considering I was saying this is how Bulb feels, not what he was saying.
But
Yeah.
you're still making it known. Oh, I assumed you was like at least imparting this to the rest of the party.
Yeah, I'm imparting it to the group, but I feel
Yeah.
like I'd be saying it.
Yeah, you won't say
Just
it
the
right there.
same, you
Yeah.
are in the Lord's court, and they have ways of hearing whatever you say.
Oh, shit, does that mean they heard what I said to Solution?
Yeah, they just didn't react.
Oh boy.
It's a 10 gonna get me.
10? Lady Silverhand
I don't.
clasps her hands together, and she says,
Wait, hold on, I have an inspiration.
"Oh, go ahead."
Please, please, please. Oh god, it got worse.
Kitty reminded me that I have an inspiration.
Yep, go ahead. You may use that to re-roll it.
20!
20.
Holy shit!
Lady Silverhand clasps her fingers together as she listens to Bulb's. She listens to Bulb's concerns. Bulb, you look up and find her staring at you, unaware that they could even hear what you were saying, but just the same. She smiles at you and she says, "A reasonable concern. As I understand it, you are representatives of the Emerald Enclave. not the Lord's Alliance, and that only Sir Lucian here and Mickey McGrood are actually bound by the laws of our organization. She says, therefore, I will allow you the leeway to accomplish the task however you see fit, so long as you pledge your word that the money will be donated to the Lords of Waterdeep.
Before you roll, can I sort of use my title in my favor with the Lord's Alliance to maybe push an advantage for them when they roll for their
What regard?
like vouching for them in some respect?
Would you like to ask them for some assistance? So, like, Bulb's already convinced them to basically let you do your own thing, but would you like to impress upon them some assistance, maybe?
That would be really good. Anyone opposed to that?
Oh, yeah, go.
Right, Ryan.
Yeah, you're going to basically leverage your rank here. Go ahead and make a persuade check, please.
Leverage
Ooh,
rank.
charisma.
Sir Lucian.
Let's do this.
Leverage your rank. That's adorable.
Now, can we just say we're rolling for initiative because that's the only time I roll high.
This is a roll for
12,
initiative.
that's more than
Oh!
enough. And you're using your noble thing here, so it's going to work. You bow gracefully and you say, my apologies, Lady Silverhand, but this Vault of Dragons, if you wish for us to work for the city of Waterdeep and ensure these ill-gotten funds are returned to the city, then perhaps some assistance from the Lord's Alliance may be on the table. Lady Silverhand clasps her hands together once more, and she says, yes, our intelligence has not suggested thus far that the Vault of Dragons itself is particularly dangerous. However, she looks over at Rainier Neverember, and she says, Sir Neverember, you are not opposed to, in effect, working against your father? Rainier presses his hand against his breastplate, and he says, no, my lady. In fact, it would bring me quite a lot of satisfaction to know that I'm undermining his itty-bitty little plans. Lady Silverhand nods and she says, very well. I will allow Sir Neverember here and 5 soldiers of the Lord's Alliance to accompany you on your expedition into the vault.
Neat.
Bulb, then, still stunned that they heard, goes, well, in that case, I, for one, pledge my help to you then.
Lady Silverhand silently nods. And the rest of you? She says.
Bobbins have to do whatever it takes to strengthen relations between this great land and her great land of Scootland. Here, Scootland.
And I go where Bobbit goes.
And Sir Lucian, as a noble of Waterdeep, I assume that you, Sir Lucian, are all aboard here?
We most certainly are. Onwards.
I
To
would
glory!
Did somebody please tell me somebody told him one about what happened when he came in late? Because I
did.
I would like
Yes.
to request to be a member of Scootland.
Scootland.
I
If
wish
anything,
to reside.
you wish to reside from. Just,
I'm
you
no
know what?
longer from Cholt. I am from Sconeland.
You're from
You know
school.
what? Sure. You know what? Because Bobbit's so happy with how all of this is going, she'll happily make you the head of the Queen's Guard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Looks like 2
Out of
upgrades.
curiosity,
Yep.
quick question. Is Bobbit being royalty of Scootland a recognised state by Waterdeep? I don't know how you pulled that off, but kudos to you, my friend.
Okay. Remember that the knick-knack shop before we nuked the place to the ground. I had that random deed of Bobbit picked up the deed that was there after she nuked the Store to Kingdom Come. Decided on a whim to go and get it checked, and because it was land, she was identified as a lady. And because Dale, playing as Sir Lucian, decided to be a smartass and go, but have we ever met anyone? It doesn't exist. There can't be any records. So they went, well, since there's no records, we'll have to consider her as the member of the royal family. So basically, Sir Lucian got Bobbit as a kingdom of sorts. And,
can I apply to become a knight of Lord of Scotland's?
As much as Bobbit would love to do that, you're already a knight of your family, so unfortunately you would not qualify. However, if both Ava and Bol would wish to become, members of her Queen's Guard, she's happy to knight them so they can also be considered lords and ladies.
Now you're
Bol would like to be the court wizard.
I need to be part of this royalty card.
Nope.
I need to.
Nope, sorry.
You just rejected me.
Yep.
Bol is handing in his advertisement for court druid.
Nobody ever disrespects me.
Well, you probably shouldn't have. This is what happens when you threaten a child who has boundless creativity.
Lady Silverhand clears her throat and she says, I apologise for interrupting the first court of Scotland. But,
apologies.
She says, there is one last matter that we must deal with. She says, one of you must have received the location of the vault from the stone.
What was that, sorry?
One of you must have received the location of the vault from the stone.
Maybe.
Bob has learnt of the location, yes.
She says, in the interests of a show of good faith between the Lords of Waterdeep and yourselves, to cement our new alliance, may you share this location with the court.
I mean, do they really need to know, considering one, we're taking soldiers with us, and two, we're pretty much bringing back the money for them anyway, so...
Bob like to say, we have reason to believe that, and this is no slight on your good reputation, that some Lords of Waterdeep, the hidden ones, are not happy with us, to say the least. I will consent to giving you personally the location. However, I do not feel comfortable sharing to an audience of masked members of the council.
Please make a persuade check, and you may do it with advantage, as Bobbit and Sir Lucian are both with you.
Okay, this is where it gets a bit tricky. That's a 13. That's not best, but yeah, that was a bit there. It was a 12 and a 14, so it's 11 and 13.
Ah, right, -1.
Lady Silverhand simply nods and she says, very well. You need not pass it on to me. We trust with Her Majesty Bobbit and Sir Scuttlebutt here, having pledged themselves to the court, that you will not double-cross the Lords of Waterdeep. She says, I understand your trepidation, especially as, according to members of the Lord's Alliance, you learned some troubling things in Xanathar's hideout. Allegations that we have, as of yet, not found any proof to confirm, but are taken seriously nonetheless.
Fair
enough. As I said, I will share it with you, but if you wish, but I appreciate what you have done here.
She simply clasps her hands together and she says, well, our business is adjourned. Rise and embark with the blessings of the Lords of Waterdeep.
Before we go, Bob would like to ask one thing. I know this is a threat considering everything that's happened, but Bob would like to request that the Trollskull Manor could be considered an official embassy of the Scotland Empire. With your blessing.
While you're doing this, I will be right back in
Yep.
5 minutes.
Go ahead and do a persuade check, please, Bobbert.
That's 16 plus 10. That's 23.
Lady Silverhand says, "Very well, I will discuss this with the other lords. Once you return with the embezzled funds, we will establish more formal relations with the nation of Scoutland."
1,000 thank yous, you
She
lady.
nods, smiles silently as you exit the court, and the large wooden doors creak and slide shut behind you.
Bobbitt's just keeping her straight face until after they leave this place entirely.
With Rainier Neverember leading you all out of the palace, you eventually emerge once again on the windy cobblestone streets of Waterdeep. And as soon as you do, Bobbit, what do you do? Just laugh.
Just laughing, quickly points at Lucy going, you should have seen your face. Bubba didn't think any of that was going to happen, but it all totally worked out great. It's a good day.
So Lucian just bites his tongue and does his best to ignore you. And then
He just grumbles.
he just grumbles. You take your
Yay.
You take your seats at a small cafe in the castle ward as Volo orders food and drinks for everybody, and you discuss what you're going to do next. Bulb shares the location of the vault with the party, and it's at this point that Mickey McGrood perks up, looks over at you, and he says, well, I've done a lot of study of the maps of Waterdeep while in Volo's employ, and it seems we have two options. If we wish to make our way to the Brandath Mausoleum, we must either make our way through the City of the Dead, perhaps drawing the ire of whatever monsters remain within, knowing that Waterdeep Cemetery is the largest on the Sword Coast, and large portions of it dating back hundreds of years, particularly the portions leading to the Brandath Mausoleum, have not been maintained in quite some time. There's no telling what we may encounter. He says, or, according to this map of the city water infrastructure, he rifles through Volo's piles of parchment and places down on the table a map of the city's sewers. We should be able to pass through this portion of the sewers here. We would be able to exit these sewers right in front of the Brandath Mausoleum and bypass travelling through the City of the Dead entirely. He says, and, best of all, this portion of the sewers is the turf, as they say, of the Shard Stunners gang. The were-rats.
Bob remembers those guys.
He says, yes, and if you'll recall, when I stopped that brute of a paladin, killing one of them, we were granted free passage through their domain.
Neat. That worked out well.
He says, so, that would be an easy way to approach the mausoleum. However, at this, Rainier Neverember cuts him off and says, however, this free passage was extended to you only. somehow I feel that the Shard Stunners would not appreciate you leading an accompaniment of Lord's Alliance soldiers, including myself, through their domain. He says, if you wish for us to accompany you from the start, we'll have no choice but to move through the City of the Dead. Otherwise, you may take your shortcut through the Shard Stunner's domain, and myself and the soldiers graciously provided by Lady Silverhand will have to join up with you once you have already made inroads into the vault.
So basically, we either go through the mausoleum, potentially deal with whatever fresh hell awaits us there, but we also have them the entire time, or we take the shortcut, mostly bypass any potential problems, but they wouldn't be able to join us until later.
Yeah. Also, they would Also, if they joined you later, they would potentially be spared the damage that they might accrue from any fights in the cemetery.
Well, this seems like a no-brainer for the most part. What does everyone else think?
So are we gonna go ahead?
Make your way.
I can go ahead.
Yeah, do we want to take the shortcut?
Okay.
Take the sewers.
Do you hear that? I was going to say, do you hear that, Hear that, Lucian? We get to go through the sewers again. Isn't that great?
Missy.
And so,
The cesspool where your home begins.
yes. And so, you inform Rainier of your plan, that you'll take advantage of the shortcut offered by the Shard Stunner's domain, and meet up with them in the vault. Rainier nods, finishes off his cup of tea, stands from his seat, and says, "Very well. I will prepare the soldiers, and we'll make our own way there. Good luck." With that, he begins to make his way down the street. Takes a few steps, stops, looks over his shoulder at Mickey McGrood and Volo, and gestures his head, beckoning them to come along. They stand up, both of them bow, and Mickey McGrood says, "Well, I'm not one for fighting anymore, so I'll be sitting this out, but I hope you appreciate my contribution." And with that, he scurries down the street with Volo, both of them following Rainier Neverember away.
They skip down the street going, la 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 la.
Bye, fun guy. Bye, Volvo.
He sure is a fun guy.
And so with that, you make your way to the entrance to the sewers that Mickey McGrood marked on the map. And just as the clocks in the city strike 11 a.m., you make your way into the sewers. You move through the abandoned, grimy sewer tunnels, doing your best to stay out of the water, until you come to the edge of the Shard Stunner territory. You find a half-collapsed sewer tunnel being guarded by a very wiry-looking were-rat. He seems to recognize you as you approach, and it's at this point that you realize that he is in fact the very were-rat that Mickey McGrood allowed to live during your encounter. The were-rat laughs nervously, does his best impression of a bow, and he says, "Look, you can make your way through, right? Just keep your weapons sheathed. Don't look at us or cause any trouble, and we'll let you through."
Yay!
And so,
Look at the floor.
you pass through the Shard Stunner's territory, moving underneath the City of the Dead. As you take each step you take through their dimly lit, badly maintained sewer tunnel hideout, you know that you are progressing through the graveyard above, bypassing any nasties that may be lying in wait for you. Finally, you reach the edge of their territory. Ahead of you, a stream through a long-forgotten sewer tunnel. At the very end of it, just visible, a half-collapsed ladder leading up into the City of the Dead, which, according to the map, will bring you right in front of the Brandeth family mausoleum.
Oh, have we done anything to figure out if there's any traps in it or not? Or should I do
Not
that
yet.
with the legend or...
Not yet. No,
Not
we were
yet.
mostly just going through the extra route that we managed to get thanks to the Mickey McGrood sparing the were-rats. So
Yep.
The were-rats watch as you pass through the gate leading to this canal at the edge of their territory, and as they pull the gate shut behind you, one of the were-rats nods and he says, good luck. Don't drink the water.
Okay. Bye, Mr. Rat. Sorry about the whole trying to kill you thing.
You climb down from the small cobblestone platform in front of the gate into the noxious smelling green stale water of the canal. Begin to wade across it to the ladder. I would like Ava and Sir Lucian to make con saves, please.
Just Ava and Lucian?
D20.
Yep, because and you too, Bobbit, because you're not immune to disease.
Just
I
Let's just say immune.
failed.
Yep, no, that's a pass for
where
you.
is my...
+4.
Yeah, because that's 15.
15.
Well, it'd be +2
Huh?
because you have
I was gonna
-2
say.
to all your rolls from resurrection sickness just for this session.
15.
But
But my con's 18 though.
yeah,
18.
Wait.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
put
wait. 20. Non-natural 20.
yep. And
I
how
rolled
did-
18.
18,
Because I get advantage on saving throws against diseases.
Yeah, this noxious water, perhaps even more smelly than the last time you were in the sewers. The stench of it wafts up and seemingly burns your face as if it's acidic, but you know better than to openly inhale it, so you do your best to block your nose, pull the front of your tunics up to cover your nose and mouth, and by the time you reach the ladder at the end of the canal, you have not inhaled enough of the fumes to contract an illness.
Yay.
You gaze upon the ladder leading up to a small manhole above. This ladder appears to have not been used in several decades and looks as if it will collapse under any significant amount of weight. What would you like to do?
Bulb can fly over, so can Ava.
Yep. How about
Technically, but
So can...
Sorry, I was doing chair ballet with Missy.
Aw. Technically, Bobby can fly over as well. Actually, that's a good question. I probably should have asked about bringing Keeper into this with us. I'm guessing it's a bit late now.
Well, you can
for-
summon Keeper at any time. He's basically like a familiar. You can summon him at any time and he'll appear.
Well, I'll keep that in mind then.
Stay there.
Bubba can technically fly over as well. She just uses the backpack.
So the only one who will have to actually climb the ladder is Sir Lucian then. Oh, and Veska too. So, given that Bobbit, Ava, and Bulb can all just fly up and reach the manhole, who would you like to go first between Veska and Sir Lucian?
I'll go first.
Alright, Sir Lucian, you place your hand on a rusted rung of the ladder and begin to climb. I would like you to please make an athletics check.
Just like the two bird people just
20,
flying.
nat
through.
20.
Oh, and that
lovely.
20.
Damn!
I climb like a champion.
You begin to climb the ladder, the metal buckling under your weight, and as you reach the top, It groans and is about to break off, but you maintain hold of the side of the ladder, and as the rungs snap off, you maintain your grip. Then you reach up, push into the bottom of the manhole, pushing it open, and climb up into the afternoon light above. Veska must then climb. Veska climbs up. She seems fine most of the way, and just as she reaches the manhole, there's a loud metallic clang, and the ladder collapses, depositing her back into the water, and she takes...
Oh no!
2 points of bashing damage, as the remains of the ladder break off the stone wall and splash into the canal.
Does anyone have rope on them?
She does
Wait,
have...
I think we all have like 50
I have rope, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got rope.
So Lucian reaches into his backpack, pulls out a length of rope, and tosses it down the manhole. Veska gets up, she shrugs, she brushes the dirty sewer water off her cloak and leather armor, and then climbs up the rope, ascending into the afternoon sun. So Lucian pulls the rope up behind him, leaving the rest of you to fly up through the manhole.
Yay, helipack.
So would you like this to be your use of flight for the day, Bobbit?
Well, if worst comes to worst and I have Keeper with me, technically he can fly me.
Ride him.
So yeah, that'll work.
So Bobbit, please describe.
I could probably carry Bobbit.
Yeah, you could. Ava could
Yeah,
carry you.
true that.
If you'd like to say
Also
that.
true. I mean, yeah, if you want to carry.
Alright, Ava.
Come, child.
Onwards, my queen guard. Onwards, my queen guard.
I would like you, Ava, to please make an acrobatics check to fly up through the tiny manhole while still maintaining a hold of Bobbit.
Okie dokie. Pass me the dice.
Yeah.
You.
You flap your wings, wrap
Just a sec. I rolled a 19
19
plus what's my acrobatics? Plus 4.
plus
So
4.
23.
Yeah, I think we're safe.
You extend your wings to their full wingspan, and then you wrap your arms around Bobbit, holding her as you flap your wings and ascend through the manhole. You emerge in a patch of overgrown grass in front of the mausoleum, and you deposit Bobbit on the ground as the afternoon sun beams down on you. Bulb, how would you like to get through?
I just fly up myself, I guess.
Yep. So, it's your first time flying in this new body. Would you like to
here we
describe
go.
what your wings look like? I'm not going to make you do a check, just... Yeah.
Make me, I'll describe it. Is that what you said?
if you like, yeah, I just want you to...
Big fucking owl wings.
Like, how long is your wingspan?
My wingspan is larger than I am. I think when I was reading it, it was like 6 to 8 feet.
God.
Yeah, my wingspan's like 6 to 8 feet long. Dark brown feathers with lighter feathers interspersed, and the bottoms of the feathers are a little bit lighter than the tips of the feathers are lighter than the base. But yeah, I just have these massive ass wings and this small-ish body, but in the owl world.
So you flap out your wings that are easily twice the length of your own body, and then you gracefully flap them, using them for the first time, and ascending out into the graveyard.
They must do great hugs.
The cemetery outside is buried in fallen autumn leaves, and the crumbling mausoleum stands in front of you, sealed tight, the name Brandeth etched above its entrance. Large elm and birch trees grow around the structure, sheltering it as best they can with their leafless boughs. As you approach the mausoleum, the largest tree growing in front of the entrance begins to shake.
Okay, everyone back up. I'm gonna now ask the damn stone about this place's defenses.
Yeah, probably good plan. Do the thing.
Alright, go ahead. So you're gonna use
Can
the
we
last
back up
check.
without getting attacked by the moving tree?
Yeah, you can.
I can start talking to the tree, but I want to know first from the stone if it's
Yeah.
Well, actually,
a defense.
I will make you do a dex check just to see
Dex
if
check?
you can
Yep,
get
okay.
away. If you can get away before the tree fully awakens.
Yep.
The smiley stick.
A dex check. My dex is now a +3, so that is a 15.
15, yeah. As soon as you notice the tips of the branches begin to twitch, you hold out one of your wings, stopping everyone, and say, "Move back!" You move back, and the leafless giant tree remains inert. Pull out the stone of... You take the Stone of Golorr from Bobbit, place your hand on the front of it, and what specifically will you ask it? Just legend lore about the Vault of Dragons itself?
No, I would like to know about all of the defenses against intruders that this vault has.
Ah, good question, says the aboleth within the stone. He informs you that within the vault itself, there are a number of traps that will not trigger based on proximity, but rather are based upon tricking you into activating them. Logic puzzles and the like. Things that are designed to trip you up and waste your time. Furthermore, he states that within the mausoleum, there is a glyph of warding just above the staircase leading down into the crypt, and the mausoleum itself is guarded by a treant who will only allow those with Brandeth blood to pass. It's at this point that I will, as you impart this, I'll actually ask Sir Lucian to make an intelligence check.
Ooh. Lucian?
Sir Lucian, you there? I'll do it. I'll do it for him.
Dang internet.
17, lovely. Okay. As you say Brandeth blood, Sir Lucian just sighs and says, Now, the House of Brandeth has not been in existence for some time. Their descendants married into House Neverember, if I am not mistaken.
So it's basically the other Neverember guy could open this for us and not get us squashed by the tree?
That's correct.
So do we wait for him?
Do you wish to wait for him?
Either that
Time
or
of night is
tree.
You may be able to get them. You may be able to, a treant is an intelligent being. You may be able to actually, get past it otherwise.
Oh, that is also true.
That's true. What time of day is it?
At this point, it's about just after lunchtime.
And Neverember said that he would join us in the vault, or
he said he would join you in the vault, which you didn't ask for. You didn't ask for elaboration on that, but you get the feeling that he is leaving you to gain entrance to the vault first.
That sounds about right.
Okay. Can I, fly up and see if I can see them waiting anywhere nearby?
Sure. Make a perception check, please.
What do your allies see?
That is my perception. I'm not proficient. That's 23.
Jesus.
You gaze out upon the city of the dead, this massive graveyard extending on for miles. Occasionally, you could see a couple of visitors that seem to be drawn to the scenic beauty of at least the outer parts of the cemetery. Even in the tail end of autumn, though, the shadowy pall that covers most of the cemetery seems to keep them away. You do not see Rainier Neverember or his entourage.
Oh dear.
If everyone would like, I can walk up with the orb to the treant. What are they called in D&D? They're not treants.
Treant. Yeah, they're treants.
They are treants? They're treants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can walk up to the treant and ask if a descendant of... what was his name? Edmund?
Of
Brandon.
Brandon, yeah.
Brandon, sorry. If a descendant of Brandon has entered the vault today.
Very well.
If everyone agrees to that.
I'm okay with that. You want to give it a shot?
Yep. So you approach just close enough for the treant to begin to awaken. Its branches jostle and shake once again. And finally the great tree awakens. A chasm in its trunk tears open, revealing a mouth. And then the creature growls, "Only those of Brandeth blood are welcome here. Be gone!"
Of course. As quickly as possible. However, I do have one question. May I ask it of you, mighty treant?
Make a charisma check, please. Just a normal one.
It's the same either fucking way. That was actually half decent. That's a 15.
Ooh.
The treant says, "Ask your questions and be gone. It is cold today. I wish to return to my rest."
Has a descendant of said person, I cannot remember. Brandon. Has a descendant of Brandon entered the vault today?
The treant says, "One with Brandeth blood has entered, yes."
We're actually supposed to be with that guy and I hold up the orb, hoping that I'm far enough away that the treant can't just snatch it from me, and go, as we have the key to the vault and are supposed to be with him.
Yes, he asked us to come, but we were held up by a meeting this morning.
The huge mouth on the tree trunk curls into a frown, and it says, "Only the blood of Brandeth shall hold the key. Die!" And then
Shit.
roll for initiative.
He asked us to hold it for him?
I am his humble manservant.
This particularly surly treant does not seem to be in the mood to negotiate any further. Roll for initiative.
Okay, that's a 12, and well, if he's complaining about cold, I guess we'll have to warm him up.
0, get me.
0, just add your dex.
I rolled in that one.
Wow.
So 1 plus your dex mod.
No, it should be plus your dex.
My dex score. Oh, sorry, yeah, fuck.
Yeah, your dex has gone up now.
I'm still thinking of charisma for some reason.
Yeah.
I got a 4.
4, okay. How did
I'm
Ava
still
go?
thinking of charisma. Oh, I am passing her the dice now.
Miss.
Yes, she has a Missy on her lap, so she can't move at the moment.
Yes.
Uh,
I think Veska might end up going first.
Yours plus 4, so you got 14.
14.
Ava got 14.
Okay, Ava got 14. M1, roll for initiative. I'll roll for him, I know what it is. 5. Okay, so that's, alright, so M1 is 3. Lovely. Okay, Veska is up. Veska is up first. She rushes forwards, takes cover behind a copse of trees, and fires a ray of frost at the treant. She nat 20s.
Holy shit.
Dealing
Keep track of me.
16 points of damage and halving the treant's movement speed.
I will be another 5 minutes, and Kitty is keeping track of me.
Yep.
So
It is now Ava's turn.
Helps if I
Yeah.
unmute myself.
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, Missy, you're gonna have to get down.
Come on.
She's so comfy. Come on,
Aw.
go on. She's not even following her dad. Go.
Don't wanna. She don't wanna.
Alright. Okie dokie. So I guess we're attacking this poor tree.
Yep.
To be fair, it's self-defense at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Basically,
true.
Bulb showing at the Stone of Golorr set it into a rage, and now it's attacking you.
Okay. I'm trying to decide how I want to approach murdering this tree. I guess we'll just fucking wail on it.
Alright?
Yep.
Alright.
You want to get as close as you can to it?
Yep, let's start chopping the tree down.
Alright. So you won't be able to reach the full distance. What's your fly speed, actually?
50 feet.
50 feet, yeah. You won't be able to quite reach it, so you'll have to attack with your bow. So where would you like
Alright,
to
that's
position
okay.
yourself? Like here, or up on top of the mausoleum?
Above the mausoleum, probably.
Alright. So you perch up on top of the mausoleum. Go ahead and make an attack with your bow.
Okie dokie. Nat 20.
Nat 20, ooh, go ahead.
Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Roll your damage and double it.
God damn, this guy's having a bad day.
Okie dokie. Where is... I'm sorry, I've got to find my sheet. Alright, so I've got a +1 to that bow now.
You sure do.
Where's the frickin' D8? Sorry. I'm not familiar with Remy's dice.
That's all good.
Okay. Alright, that's a... His phone's going off. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
That's okay.
So that was a 5 plus 5.
Yep, Doubled
So 10 times 2.
yep, 20 points of damage.
Yep, plus
Lovely.
a D4, I think,
Yep, for your psychic
psychic.
damage.
which is a 1.
21 damage in one hit is still not bad, though.
Yep. And I believe I can do a second hit, can't I?
Yes, you can. You can attack with your bow again as part of extra attack.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Go again. Another one.
Spooky.
I'm gonna shoot him again.
So 15 plus 8.
15
Yeah, I think you
plus
got that.
8. Okay, that is... Let me see. That is definitely a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright, that is 5 plus 5 again, so 10.
10. Okay, another 10 damage. Wow. 31 damage. That's definitely good for the first round.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it is the treant's turn. Roaring,
Aw.
it digs its branches into the ground, hefts up a large chunk of rock from the debris that's the remnants of a neighbouring mausoleum, and hurls it towards Ava and Bulb.
Oh no!
That is going to be...
How dare!
Mm-hmm.
That is a 24 to hit. 14 plus 10.
Ew.
So, Ava, you are taking 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh!
Bulb...
Alright,
Oh, yeah, and
what's
Bulb,
my
yes.
regular health?
Ava and
58.
Bulb are both taking 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well-
Oh. Oh dear.
58
Six.
minus 16.
It was 16 for Bulb as well, was it?
Yep, because he hit you both with the rock.
Yep, no problem.
And
Alright.
it is now Bobbitt's turn.
Okay, quick question. If I'm switching out ammunition I'm using in my gun, does that require a bonus action to load it?
Yes, it
Actually-
does.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I will get within hitting distance for my pistol as my
Yep.
movement. How far can I get with that?
So your pistol has a range of 30 feet. So you'd have to go up here where Bulb is.
That's fine. Go up there. We'll take a minute to load her. Well, basically, this is a field test for incendiary rounds. Just looked at the tree and goes, Bobbit heard the tree said it was cold, so Bobbit's going to help warm it up a bit. And take aim with her gun, with her incendiary round, and
bang!
we'll give it a go.
All right, roll
That's
to
a
hit.
That's a 12
sorry.
plus 8, so that's a non-nat 20.
Not nat 20. Yeah, that's a hit. Roll for damage and double
That's
it
my
because it's
regular-
vulnerable to... roll your damage,
Oh.
and then the dice of fire damage, you double that because it's vulnerable to fire.
Oh, so it was my regular pistol plus a D10
Of fire
and
damage, yeah. And then that D10 you double.
Well, it's 8 plus 5 for my regular one, so that's 13. And for the fire one, I rolled another 8. So it's going to be 16 plus 5, so... Okay, so 13, 16, 5 is 21.
Yep.
Alright. Is that right?
Yep. That's that. Yep,
Yep.
that's correct.
So that all up is going to be... So 13 plus 21 equals 34 points of damage.
Oh, wow. We've over 50 HP of this treant already gone. He roars in pain as your bullet hits the trunk and explodes, singeing his wood. Okay.
Yay, Bobbit bullets work!
Now, Keeper is on the field, but he won't do anything until you use an action to actually command him.
Yep. Fair enough. He just sits quietly.
Yep. And it is now Bulb's turn.
How hurt is this tree looking?
Considerably hurt. His trunk is covered in scorch marks. A couple of his main branches seem to have broken off. He doesn't look close to death, but he does look quite a bit hurt.
If I were to ask him to stand down because we're only here with Branda's descendant, will that take an action?
Talking's a free action.
Free action? We are not here to hurt you. We are only defending ourselves here, but if you stand down and let us in, we swear that we are here with a descendant of Brandith.
Make a charisma check, please.
It's a 4.
4.
Yeah, that's
The
just a
treant
bar.
stomps the ground with its roots and says, "No excuses!"
Okay, how tall is a treant?
It is a treant is a huge plant. It's about 30, 40 feet tall.
Okay, so if I were to fly 30 feet up, I would not get advantage on attacks.
No.
Okay. I'm just gonna still stand on the ground, this 2-foot little thing, and I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray.
Alright,
Oh,
go
hell yeah.
ahead. All 3 rays at the treant. Go ahead and roll to hit with them.
One of those landed on its side, so I'm gonna roll again. I'm gonna move these ones so I don't knock them. So that's a 17, a 21, and an 18 plus 7.
Okay, all 3 of them hit.
25.
All 3 of them
And
hit.
all the,
So
and all
that's...
the damage gets doubled because
Yep.
it's fire.
That's correct.
No, well,
Burn them! Burn it good!
I'm not gonna burn you, bitch. I'm gonna burn you, bitch. 2d6, so that's 6d6. I only have 4d6. So I'm gonna have to roll this a couple times. So currently at 34. And
Yep.
I got to roll 2 more dice.
Yep.
42, but then I add the +1 from my staff, which becomes a 2, so that's 44 damage.
44 damage. Ooh. The treant just roars in rage. You burn off one of its major branches. It seems rooted to the spot, squirming in agony. It is Sir Lucian's turn.
I use my movement, to move.
Oh, yep. Away.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move. No, I'm not using the paint tool. I'm moving over here so that I'm
over here in the trees.
just away from other people.
Yep. Okay, it is Sir Lucian's turn.
That was a spell.
He's M1 there. He's not muted anymore.
Oh dear.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, he's probably having. It sounds like he's having microphone problems. M1, you're having microphone
it's stuck in the middle.
problems. Yeah. We can't hear you. No. So yeah. Unplug and plug your mic back in. It's text time. All right. So what would you like to do? Okay, let me see if.
Yeah. If you would like to help the Dungeons and
if you would
Dragons
like
team
to help M1
avoid
get
these
it
sort
better.
of technical difficulties, please donate to our group.
Swing with a charge blade at the treant. You probably can't get close enough to him to do it, but you could try to throw one of your hand axes. So I'll move you. You rush up, standing side by side with Bobbit. And now Louie's gone offline.
Oh wow, this has just been a bad week for tech issues.
Thanks, Louie.
Between yesterday's stream and today, we just seem to keep having issues with
I
this.
know, you're here. So would you like to throw your hand axe? Yeah, your microphone's gone to shit. Yep, alright. Go ahead and roll to hit with your hand axe. Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. 18! That's a hit. Roll for damage.
Now he's gone.
Now he's gone. Yeah. And Louis came back. There we go. He's back. He's back. Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage, M1. 3 plus your strength mod, 7 damage. Not bad. Would you like to use your extra attack to throw another hand axe? Because as a 5th level fighter, you get 2 attacks now. Alright, go ahead. Throw another hand axe. Roll to hit. Unfortunately, the second hand axe, you throw it just a bit too far to the right, but your first one hits it and snaps off a branch that falls down into the overgrown grass. It twanged off his nose. Okay, it is now Veska's turn, sorry. Veska decides to fire another ray of frost. Unfortunately, she misses. Ava, it is your turn again. M1, try closing Discord entirely and going back in. Sometimes that works. So what would Ava like to do?
Oh, I thought I heard my name.
There we go, it's your turn.
Okie doke.
We're back. Fantastic. Ava.
WTF Discord.
Yeah, it does that
WTF,
sometimes. So,
Alright, kitty.
Ava, you can, if you want to get up to hit it with your sword, you can actually do that this turn.
Can you bring the map up for me, please, my dear? Yeah, okay. Actually, no. I'll keep shooting at it with my bow.
Yeah, because you don't want it to be close enough for it to hit you with its normal
Yeah,
attack.
I don't want it to hit me.
Yeah. Alright, so
No.
go ahead, make an attack with your
No,
bow.
give me the metal one. I like that one.
Bring the
It
metal
gives me
clicky
good
clack
rolls.
number rock.
Clicky number rock.
Bring the
Alright,
heavy
so
number rock.
that is I haven't updated that. So that's plus 8. 13 plus 8.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
D8, please. Thank you.
Why must this tree do this to us? We just wish to end to. This doesn't have to end like this.
That is a 7.
A 7, not bad. Plus your
I need
psychic.
a D4. Yeah, and my D4 of psychic damage, which is 1. I'm an idiot and should have marked it as a favored foe. Oh wait, I can now.
Yeah, you can.
It's
only a bonus
I'll mark
action
it
to
as
do
a
that.
favored foe.
Yep, it's your favourite
Yeah.
foe. So go ahead, make your
Yeah.
second attack, and this time it's your favourite foe.
Yeah. That is 6 plus 8.
That is
14.
14.
14.
Not bad at all. Okay, would you like to move anywhere?
No,
14 was the hit.
Oh, 14
Yeah.
was to hit. Oh, unfortunately, your arrow just bounces off a particularly hard part of its trunk and just disappears,
Aw.
flickering out.
bugger. What does favored foe give me? I don't remember.
Just gives you extra damage if you
Extra
hit it.
people. Damn it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Dang.
Alright, it is the Treant's turn. Roaring, it takes a step forward, and then it reaches down its broken branches, lifts up another chunk of mausoleum debris, and hurls it at Bobbit and Sir Lucian.
So, do we get to roll to dodge that, or is it
Well,
rolling to hit us?
it's rolling to hit you.
Okay.
Ouch.
So
This
that
don't
is
suck.
so that is a 19 to hit, meaning that Sir
Damn it.
Lucian raises his shield and deflects the chunk of debris that's tossed at him, but Bobbit is hit
Ow.
and takes 19 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
Ouch.
Jerk.
But Sir Lucian, you are fine. And
Can I use a riposte?
yeah, would you like to use a riposte on that? You may go ahead.
Oh, why not?
Oh, am I close enough to use a melee attack? Oh, it's only for a melee attack. I can't use it.
Yeah, that's right. I'll
Damn.
count.
Well,
Well, because the hand axe is technically a melee weapon, I'll allow you to use your hand axe to make a riposte attack.
ooh.
Oh, that's alright. I'll keep it for later. I'll use my
Alright.
charge blood on next time.
Yep, alrighty. Okay. After Sir Lucian deflects that chunk of debris with his shield, it is now Bobbit's turn.
Well, Bobbit doesn't wish to use any more of her fire rounds at the moment because, only have so many
Yep.
of those. But while we're in the mood of field testing things, Bobbit looks over her shoulder and whistles as loudly as she can for her other thing that she'd like to test
Keeper.
out today.
Just before you do that, sorry,
Yep.
Bobbit.
Yep.
I've got to go.
Yep,
Hopefully, I'll be back to catch the end of it and join in the end.
leave your sheet with Q.
I've sent Kitty's asked me to send it to you because she doesn't want to get me killed.
alright.
So
I'll
I've
do
sent it
alright.
to you in Discord.
I won't get you killed.
I've saved it literally right now and sent
Yep.
it to you.
Alrighty. We're gonna stop after we enter the
Okay.
dungeon anyway, so you won't miss a whole lot, hopefully.
Oh, okay then.
Alright.
Right. Yeah, I will talk to you all later.
Alright,
Have
see you,
fun,
Remy.
good luck.
Have fun.
Yeah, the druid is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's fair.
confident.
I'll do it, Kitty.
Fair enough. That's all good.
You hear a metallic roar as Keeper, the clockwork dragon, materializes in the middle of the middle of the cemetery and touches
And
down
I
on
was going
the
to say,
grass. Yep. What would you like?
do
me
I have
do?
to one? I was going to say, do I have to roll for initiative thing, or is it just
No,
roll
no.
my
He just
turn?
takes your initiative.
Exciting, fun. In that case, I'm going to let him use his fire breath on this.
Ooh, so you're gonna get him to
So,
fly forwards.
On the treant, so obviously go up there, you can fly above it, so it's
Yep.
not in the range of anything else. And yeah, it gets to a
fire
fire.
breath.
They'll fire in a 15-foot cone. Each creature in the area must make a DC 11 dexterity saving throw.
Use flamethrower.
Yeah, pretty much going, yo, keeper! Yeah, just this metallical groaning sound as the black powder ignites with it and just this massive plume of fire roars out.
Okay, I will get the Treant to roll Dex, which it's not very good at.
I was going to say, I'm banking on this thing having absolutely terrible dexterity,
Yeah,
so...
its Dex is not great. It's rolled a 4.
Well, it is a tree.
What did it roll?
A 4.
Excellent. So it's going to be taking 46 fire damage, and since it's weak to fire, that's going to essentially be double that.
Yep, so 46, so 92 points of fire damage. Keeper roars, spraying the Treant with a plume of flame. The Treant roars, no! And within seconds, it is nothing more than a pile of flaming ash. Dead.
Just got Bobbit sitting there watching this with like an absolutely massive grin, just like the fire glinting off her goggles as she's just watching this thing just being engulfed in flames going, wow, that worked even better than Bobbit hoped it would!
So combat against the Treant is over. The mausoleum, the cemetery and the surrounds are quiet, and there appears to be nothing preventing you from entering the mausoleum.
Hooray!
Huzzah!
We win.
Appears.
So what would you...
appears. Do we?
Yep.
Well, you said appears, so now I'd like to investigate because I don't trust it when you say things appear to be okay.
Very well. You may go ahead and do a check if you like.
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20? So, Bobbit, you do a quick check around the perimeter of the mausoleum, just making your way through the tall grass until you loop back around to the stone doors that mark its entrance. And from your investigations, it seems to be just a normal mausoleum.
Okay, didn't you say there was something on the staircase into it that we had to...
Yes, but there is no staircase on the front of the mausoleum.
Okay.
Stone of Golorr was likely referring to within the mausoleum.
Okay, M1, whatever you're doing, I'm gonna need you to stop, buddy.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know the microphone was on. Sorry, guys.
Yep. Oh, yep. It's got the can. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
okay. No.
The heavy doors appear to be stuck fast. Would Sir Lucian like to attempt an athletics check to push them open, please?
Yeah, sure. That'd be awesome.
Go ahead. Nat 20, lovely. So Lucian leans forward and, groaning with effort, he pushes aside the stone doors, allowing you to enter the mausoleum. Do you all just enter?
Check for traps.
Check for traps.
Yeah, I was gonna say, check for traps.
I would like... I'd like Bobbit to make an investigation check as you move in.
Yeah, it's gonna be an 11 this time.
An 11. Okay. So the inside of the mausoleum is very cramped and dusty from decades of misuse. The floor is covered in a layer of dust and dirt and debris, at least half a feet tall. You cannot see any of the stone plates that would normally make up the floor. The sarcophaguses that are wedged into various receptacles in the walls, covered in similar layers of dust and cobwebs, and the only thing of note appears to be a staircase at the far end of the mausoleum leading down into the crypt below.
Okay, well that would obviously be the staircase we were told about. So what did we have to do with that one again?
You were told it was a glyph of warding.
How does one go about dealing with that?
We have to find it first.
That is true. That is also true. Alright, so doors open, doesn't seem to be any
enemies
issues walking in. However, I will be that one nerd and just go, it's sarcophagi, not sarcophaguses.
Yes, sarcophagi, very well.
Sarcophagi.
Sick off a no. Alright, do we want to head inside?
Yeah, you've headed inside. You're now moving up towards the staircase, where you know the glyph of warding to be. But as you look around, you can't find it. You can't see the floor through these thick layers of dust and debris, and you'll need to clear it somehow if you have a hope of actually seeing any glyphs that might be underneath.
And like blow it away.
I was going to say, could I get Keeper to help remove the dust off the floor?
Keeper stumbles in.
Also, Ava can do it too, because I don't want her to feel...
With her wings?
Just everyone with wings, use Gust.
Alright. So I would like Ava to please make a strength check. Actually, a dex check to flap your wings fast enough. And you may do it with advantage, because Keeper is helping, and Bulb is helping.
Look at that team go.
Let's see how we do.
That's an 18.
That's an 18, okay. Flapping your wings as fast as you can with Bulb and Keeper beside you, you generate a huge gust of wind that sweeps the dust aside. And now, Bobbit, you may do an investigation check, as you can see the dusty stone floor beneath.
That's a 16.
You could just see it. What's left of the glyph of warding carved into one of the stones right in front of the top step of the staircase. It's so old now that it's almost faded away with wear, but you could tell that it is intact enough to still function.
Okay, so it is still functioning now.
Yes.
What exactly does a glyph of warding do?
Would you like to make an Arcana check?
I certainly would. I like those. And there was my Arcana, that's a 17 plus 5, 22.
You spend a few moments crouched over examining the glyph that's carved into the stone, and you determine that this glyph of warding is a magical trap. It is designed to trigger when a humanoid creature who is not descended from the Brander family steps over it. At this point, it will conjure a fireball spell.
Yeah. Not a fan of that.
You may be able to dismantle it by using your thieves' tools to scratch some of the glyph away, hopefully carefully enough that you don't destroy it, that you don't set it off.
Okay, does everyone else want to move back so they're out of fireball range while I do this, because I don't want anyone else getting hurt?
Back. She trusts Bobbit.
Okay, Ava stays.
Yeah, sure,
Meanwhile, Bulb, Veska, and Sir Lucian just make their way out of the mausoleum and stand in the doorway.
Keeper. I was just say Keeper and Blinky can go with as well, please.
Yep, they sure do.
Just like, everyone out. Everyone. Ava, you sure you don't want to? Bobbit sure she can do this, but she doesn't want anyone else getting blown up over this.
Even.
You hear the whirring of gears within Keeper's body as he makes his way out of the mausoleum, and Blinky just hovers behind. Go ahead and make a Thieves' Tools check, please, Bobbit.
Oh boy, this ought to be fun. Ooh, that's a 17 plus 3, so that's going to be a non-nat 20.
You kneel down and use the tip of your Thieves' Tools to scratch away parts of the glyph, the parts that connect the magical markings together. And you brace yourself, but nothing happens. You dismantle the glyph without setting it off.
It's like freaking bomb defusal squad there.
You hear a sigh of relief from Bulb, Veska, and Lucian behind you as they make their way back into the mausoleum.
Okay. Nobody blew up. We're good.
With that, would you like to make your way down into the crypt below?
Probably heal up if we're all. Do we want to take a quick rest before we go down there, since a good portion of us lost health before?
If you'd like to take a short rest, you may do so.
Yeah. Might give the other guys time to catch up with us as well?
Yep, there doesn't seem to be anything dangerous here, so if you want to take a short rest, you may go ahead.
Okay. Yay, nap time.
Alright. You lean up against the sides of the mausoleum, using the sarcophagi as resting posts. Pull out your rations and catch your breath for 10 minutes. You may spend hit dice to recover your HP.
For me, spend 2 of those. I'll keep the rest just in case.
I will see how much of bulbs that I can spend. Let me see. I will spend for bulb. How many hit dice has he got? 5. Spend 2 hit dice, leaving him with 3, putting him back up to full health.
Nice.
There we go. Okay. Are you all rested up?
I believe we are, yes.
Very well. You brace yourselves and make your way down the dusty staircase into the unlit crypt below. As you make your way down into the crypt, the darkness engulfs you and Ava's moonblade begins to glow. A soft blue light, allowing those of you without dark vision to see just enough to know where you're heading.
Oh, it's going to pull out our activated goggles anyway,
Yep,
just to be
in
safe.
case.
Just
That's
that.
very well. And so,
Yay.
you step down into the crypt. You find yourself facing a long stone hallway. The walls made up of a combination of stone masonry and solid, tightly packed earth. The roof above you is a big stone fresco carved with images of the Brandeth family's accomplishments. To your left and right, there are yet more receptacles containing sarcophagi. However, these sarcophagi appear to be in much better condition than the ones on the floor above. They've been hidden away for quite some while and seem to have been much better protected. You suddenly realise that these are the sarcophagi that contain the treasures and heirlooms of the Brandeth family. What would you like to do?
Check for traps.
Yeah, check for traps to see before we try and start busting things open.
Good idea. Go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
That's a 15.
A 15. You search very thoroughly, investigating each stone that you step across, and you find no treasures in this portion of the crypt.
Oh.
So, do you wish to move on, or are you going to examine the sarcophagi?
Well, I was actually using my investigation to see if there are any traps on, like, the sarcophagi
On the
themselves.
sarcophagi? Yeah, no, the sarcophagi also appear to have no traps. It appears that the glyph of warding above was the sole line of protection.
That was all they needed?
Yeah, they thought that's all that would be needed.
Well, Bobbit has very deep pockets and would like to prove them wrong. Could someone wish to start opening things for Bobbit, please?
Very well. Sir
Guessing we're gonna
Lucian,
need something to
I
open.
would like Sir Lucian to please make an athletics check to start prying coffins open.
I mean, we'll obviously seal them back up afterwards so that no one knows that we raided them, because obviously that would be very, very bad for us. But, yeah, definitely bust them open.
Yep. So go ahead, Sir Lucian, make an athletics check to begin to pry coffins open.
Oh, sorry. Fuck.
Okay.
Nope. Yep, he's gone. I'll roll. Oh, there we go. He's back. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
Sorry,
please,
the
Lucian.
internet black hole has been attacking me.
It's been attacking you. It's okay. It's been doing a lot in the last few days.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
11. I think that's a pass, actually.
Pass? Yep, that is, because
plus-
your strength is +4, so that's 15 or... Well, that's 13 altogether with your resurrection sickness. But
Yeah.
you groan with exertion and you lift the lids off the sarcophagi, clouds of dust billowing out and making you all cough as they fly into your faces. You find that 2 of the coffins, the one on the left and the top one on the top right, contain nothing more than mummified remains of branded family members wrapped in decaying bandages. However, the bottom right sarcophagus seems to be stockpiled with treasure. I would like someone to please roll a d20.
Alright. Oh, that's a
Now,
1.
Bobbit to do that.
1.
That was a 1. What's
Oh,
a
damn
1
it,
get me?
Bobbit.
You
Hey,
find...
look, if I had to roll it today, it was... At least it's not something that's going to get us killed.
You find several family heirlooms altogether are worth 300 GP. You also find a strange candle ensconced inside a gold casing with elaborate carvings on it. And as you lay your hands on it, you can feel magic emanating.
Okie dokie day.
Would you like to make an Arcana check to identify that?
I sure would. You said the heirloom's worth 350 gold?
350 gold.
Just making sure I got that written down. And yes, I will go Arcana. That's going to be I believe it was +5 to Arcana. This is 16.
You determine that this is a candle of the deep, a common magical item. The flame of this candle is not extinguished when it is immersed in water. It gives off light and heat like a normal candle would, even immersed in liquid.
Ooh. Well, that's fun. Who wants a special candle? I mean, it will be good for us moving down into the mausoleum.
It will be.
Alright,
Would you like to light it now?
I mean, yeah, I could do that.
Alrighty. You strike a lantern match and light the candle of the deep, and the flame begins to flicker, bathing the pathway ahead in flickering flame light. Above, on dry land, it appears to function identically to a normal candle. However, you notice that no matter how long it burns, the wick and the wax never seem to get any lower.
Nice. The deep. And we need to just quickly roll to make sure that the sarcophagi are closed back up for obvious reasons.
Lovely. So, well, you don't
need to roll for that, or can we just...
No, you just put them back on. It's effort to get them open, but when you get them to put the lid back on, all you're doing is lifting it up and dropping it on. So you drop the lids back onto all the sarcophagi, and you continue forward down the narrow hallway. You come to a corner branching off to the east, further into the earth. Aside from this bend in the hallway, there are 2 more sarcophagi wedged into the wall. One in a receptacle to the north of you, and one in a receptacle to the west.
Do you want to do the same again, or do we just leave these ones?
It's up to you.
That's what I was asking everyone else. What does everyone else want to do?
Ava, what do you reckon?
We can look if you like.
I'm fine either way.
Are you curious to see what's in them?
Oh yeah, there might be something, a nice surprise.
Alright, well...
So Lucian, go ahead and roll an athletics check to pry open these sarcophagi.
Let's say, do you want me to check? Look around first.
Raises his arms, flexes his muscles, and says, I have got the power
for trap
of nothing.
Get on with it.
Get on with it. Open them up.
I rolled a 5.
You rolled a 5.
Oh,
my back.
Muscles.
You press against the sarcophagi, and these 2 appear to be sealed particularly tight, and try as hard as you can, you cannot seem to make them budge. And so you decide to press on. further into the crypt.
Okay.
Check for... Okay, here we go. Turn and follow the hallway to the east, as it seems to descend even lower into the earth. Find yourself moving down yet another narrow hallway that seems to just continue straight ahead. However, this one appears to be different. You do not see any sarcophagi. Rather, there are 4 large tunnel openings there are 4 large circular tunnels dug into the northern and southern walls of the hallway, just big enough to allow a small child to move through, but obviously not designed to be traversed.
I like how you specifically said small child.
Yeah, Bobbit, go look.
That's the size they are.
Yeah, investigation time again.
If you like, go ahead, make an investigation.
I mean, technically, Bolt's not even the smallest person in the group anymore, but sure.
Yeah, Bulb is.
Yeah, but Bolt's...
17.
17. You take a step down the hallway and begin to move towards one of the tunnels. But then, as you draw closer to it, you notice that in front of each of the 4 tunnels, there is a small raised piece of stone, a pressure plate, 4 of them all together. And then, when you peek inside the hole, you see a large iron spear just resting on the other side.
Oh, well, this doesn't take a genius. Push the pressure plate and cop a spear to the chest.
Yep.
Nice. Well then, do we want me to try and deactivate? Do I have to do separate rolls, or can I just roll one?
You will have to do 4 separate rolls to deactivate them.
Makes sense. Either way, I'll be crouching down very low as I do this, so I don't get impaled in the off chance of a fail. Alright, Thieves Tool 1 is a nat 20, so I don't think I have to do anything for that one.
That's
just
fine.
Poke it and if it falls apart.
You hear a click, the pressure plate sticks up, and the spear pokes out, but doesn't hit anything but air.
Nifty. Number 2.
Move on to the second one, Thieves Tools check.
Is going to be a 19 plus 3, so we're slowly moving down the dice order.
Yep, 19 plus 3. Once again, you hear a click as this spear sticks out of the hole, stabbing through the air. The third one.
Neat. Number 3 is unfortunately going to be a 5, so duck and cover.
Yep, please make a deck save, Bobbit.
I did say I was crouching down, so this wouldn't happen. That's going to be an 18 on the deck save.
An 18. Snap! The pressure plate digs into the ground. You hear a rumbling from behind the hole, and then thunk! As you see the glimmer of metal from the spear coming out, you duck. It flies over your head, encompassing the entire length of the hallway, and digs its head into the wall on the opposite side. If you had been standing, it would have impaled you.
Yay!
Try the fourth one.
Number 4. Oh dear, that's a 10.
That's a 10.
Rick cries.
Make a deck save, please.
That's a nat 20, so I'm just going to matrix my way out of that.
As soon as...
see it coming in slow motion, just go, no, I don't think I want to get hit by that.
As soon as you hear the thunk of the pressure plate sinking into the ground, you just roll backwards into Ava's outstretched arms as the heavy iron spear sticks out and impales the other side of the tunnel. The traps all appear to be safe, and so you move forwards.
Yay!
Into what appears to be the final part of the crypt.
Okay.
You move forwards, and you find yourself face to face with what appears to be a collapsed wall. A huge, impassable pile of debris blocking access to anywhere further to the east. The only thing you can see from here is a large sarcophagus to the north. Not placed in a small receptacle like the others, but instead laid out on a large stone plaque. It has the word Brandeth carved into it.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing you're going to want me to investigate before we go any further?
Yes, if you wish.
And Bob to put in overtime for this. The duties of a queen are unquenchable. That's going to be 16. No, sorry, 17.
17.
Plus 3 or plus 2 for investigation.
You examine the sarcophagus and move all around it, looking at the colourful but yet faded carvings on its lid and sides. If you were from this world, you would think it reminds you an awful lot of the pharaoh's coffin in ancient Egypt, but you see no signs that there is any physical trap.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be anything here, although at this point, slightly curious as to how it said that someone had already been through here, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of that, but...
Yeah, as this coffin appears to be untouched, and the way ahead is blocked off by a cave-in, so...
Secret tunnel, perhaps?
Would you like... Bulb says, I could cast Detect Magic if you don't mind waiting, otherwise that sarcophagus perhaps looks promising. It is much more grand and out of the way than the others.
Bob's happy to wait. Can Bob go back and try and open those other sarcophagi while he's doing the Detect Magic ritual?
Yeah, sure. You sure you don't want to try to open the big one?
I mean, we could do that too.
Alright, well, since that's
takes
closer...
10 minutes for him.
Yeah, it takes 10 minutes.
It takes 10 minutes.
Sir Lucian, please make an athletics check to open the large sarcophagus.
You can do it. Flex
yeah,
those
that's
gams.
a pass. Okay.
Hey.
You move up to the large sarcophagus, place your hands on the lid and groan. As you lift it up, a cloud of dust flies up into your face and you cough. Within, you find the shattered bones of Lord Brandeth, a Waterdavian magister who died in a freak accident a century ago. Around his skull is a silver headband encrusted with gems. You could feel the magic emanating from it from here.
Well, I would like to check Arcana for that headband.
Go ahead, roll Arcana.
That's a nat 20.
You recognize it from here as a headband of intellect. You need only remove it from Lord Brandeth's Brandeth's skull and take it for your own.
Reva had one of those.
She
Very
did.
good.
The way you're wording that implies that this is going to have some consequences. Bob definitely wants that. Definitely. Can I roll investigation on the actual skeleton to see if any... has the Detect Magic thing happened yet? Because gonna wait to see.
So you're not going to just immediately grab, you're going to wait for the Detect Magic to be cast?
Yeah, Bobbit definitely wants that, but at the same time, considering what happened the last time, people went around grabbing stuff in someone's mausoleum of sorts.
So Bob
Curiosity
detects two sources of magic in the room. The first is a source of necromantic energy emanating from Lord Brandeth's sarcophagus, specifically from the headband of intellect, and this necromantic energy seems to connect with 3 of the other sarcophagi in the crypt. The second source of magic he detects is illusion magic emanating from the cave-in just to the east.
Oh. Well, that is interesting. So the cave in itself isn't real. Someone put that there to try and ward us off.
Well, you could try to. Someone could touch it if you like and see.
I'm gonna guess if we'd grabbed that headband, it would have reanimated.
Or at the very least, it will reanimate the mummies that you saw earlier.
Yeah. Is there any way to dispel it?
Yeah, dispel magic would do it, but I don't know if anyone has that spell.
No.
Let me see if Bold has
think
it.
anyone.
Let me see if
I don't think
Bold
anyone has dispel magic at the moment.
He does have it as a. Oh wait, no, it's a 3rd level spell. Nope, no one has dispel magic. So you're going to. If you wish to get that headband, you're probably going to be.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with it. Just try to see if there's anything I have that could actually help, but.
Intelligence modifier.
Yeah, could I roll intelligence to see if I get an idea on how to do this?
Alright, go ahead, make an idea roll.
16.
Based on your...
What do you have on?
I just wanted to know what it was.
Based on... So you and Ava just think for a moment, and based on your understanding of how magic works, it appears that the necromantic energy would activate if the headband of intellect was removed from Lord Brander's skull. However, it doesn't seem to be connected to the headband specifically, just to his skull, meaning if you could quickly replace the headband with something of equal weight and shape, you just might be lucky enough to...
What happened?
Prevent it from activating.
So, if I were to take like a strip of cloth or something, do we have something that would... Wait, how much would this thing even weigh? Am I overthinking this? I feel like I'm overthinking this. Oh, I want to Indiana Jones this fucking thing so badly.
Sorry, I cut out. What happened?
Well, you've discovered that the magic does not seem to be actually linked to the headband, but rather the skull. So if you could take the headband off and then quickly replace it with something that weighs a similar amount and is in a similar shape, then you might not trigger the trap.
Okay.
What if, and this is just a thought, you said it's if we try to remove the headband from the skull.
Yeah.
What if we remove the skull itself, we don't use the headband now, but we take the headband that's still attached to the skull, put it in the bag of holding, and then once we leave the mausoleum, then we remove it, because then we're 1,000,000 miles away and no one's coming for it then. We don't have to fight anything.
I mean, you could try. You know that the magic is directly linked to the skull, so...
Yeah.
It's
That's
possible.
What I'm saying. We could just
it is a
take the
possibility
skull with us.
that disturbing the skull at all would trigger the magic. But you could try.
Yeah.
You don't know for certain.
That would be a sleight of hand, I think.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I'd be rolling sleight of hand.
Yes.
Unless someone has something we can replace it with that's going to weigh the same as that. Would just a simple strip of cloth do, or would we need something else?
Well, the headband appears to be made out of silver with gemstones, so you would require at least something made out of metal.
Do we have anything that would fit that bill?
You can use... Do you have any scrap metal left? You could possibly bang some of it into the shape that you need.
Probably. Never actually kept it full door that I mostly thought we just used all that up when we built a keeper and that.
Well, you can make... I'll allow you to make a Tinker's Tools check to bash, like, one of the last pieces of scrap metal you have into...
Done, and that's a 19.
That's a 19. You sit for a few moments, pull out a piece of scrap metal out of your backpack and start beating it.
I'm gonna ready my weapons.
Yeah, you're gonna ready your weapons.
I'm sure as shit not leaving this thing behind. This has to come with me, one way or another.
And you're no blacksmith, So, after a few minutes, you find yourself holding a circular piece of scrap metal with a big crude hole bashed into the center of it, but it should be fine to fit over the skull of Lord Brandon. It will require a sleight of hand check, and it will be at disadvantage because this is quite a crude construction. You're not a blacksmith, and there's going to be some finagling required to actually fit it over the skull.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I'm still considering the odds of just taking the whole damn skull so we don't have to try and worry about triggering anything, but... +3 to sleight of hand. I can try and do this and see what happens. Either way, I'm getting that goddamn thing. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I knew you'd want it.
Yeah, thanks, you dick.
It's a good
Well,
item.
Well, I'm guessing. Shit. I do have inspiration point. I do have one last inspiration point.
You have one last inspiration point.
Shut it. I'm gonna try my luck and see if I can get better than a 12.
Alright.
Come on, Bobbit.
Yes, I rolled a 17 and 16 at the 19.
19?
Do I Indiana Jones this thing?
Alright. You reach down and looking into the open sarcophagus. You grab the tip of the headband of intellect. You rip it off the skull. And then you immediately grab your replacement and start pressing it down. The DC was 20.
Oh no!
You bastard!
You finally managed to get it onto the skull, but as you do, you hear the loud sound of scraping stone as 3 mummies animate and burst out of their sarcophagus.
I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead and roll for initiative, please.
You bastard. Oh, that's a non-nat 20 is my initiative order. God damn it.
Oh, you've got it now, though.
7.
I've got it, but damn it, I thought I did so well.
Nearly, you were one off.
If I find out that I could have just ripped the skull off and kept it, I'm going to kill you.
No, the skull would have caused the same thing to happen. So, okay, M1's rolling for initiative. I'll roll for Bulb. Bulb is 11.
God damn it, you know, it's just to tempt me with things.
So that's 4 for Sir Lucian. Lovely. Okay, it is combat time. I'm just gonna put the combat music on.
And of course it was bloody one off.
It's only 3 mummies. Yeah, no,
I know, but that's not the point.
The module has it set as 20 to replace it quickly with something, so... Yeah, you were only one off, but I did like the creativity. Okay.
As long as you're enjoying it.
So first up, Bobbit, you get to go first.
Bobbit's just doing that whole really protective. Nope, this is Bobbit's now. You can't have it. Do I have to roll?
It's Bobbit's shiny.
I was gonna say, do I have to roll to see if I can recharge Keeper's fire breath? Otherwise, I will happily throw that
yes,
at
you
them.
do have to. You do have to roll to recharge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a free action to roll to recharge it, though.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you just whenever he uses fire breath, you immediately roll again to see if it recharges.
And according to this, rolling a 6 most definitely recharges the damn thing.
It recharges at a 5 or 6, I believe.
Yep, 5 or 6, as it says here. I do have the sheet here just to make sure that I'm not... Yep, the Bobbit's just going to point towards the mummies and go, Keeper, defend Bobbit's shiny thing!
Keeper roars, his gears whirring and clanking as he begins to stomp down the corridor towards mummies 2 and 3. And he unleashes a fire breath. Mummies 2 and 3 both make dex saves. Mummy 3 got a nat 20 and Mummy 2 got a 14.
Damn. Well, they're still going to take... Wait, are they weak to fire?
They're not weak to fire.
Dang. Oh, I guess I'll just have to roll 4d6 and they take half.
Yep.
Rude. 4d6. Yeah, it's gonna be 8 points of fire damage.
8 points. Let me just check to see if mummies are weak, because I know
Just
they're...
double checking.
Yeah, just double checking. Mummy... Oh, they are weak to fire, so 16 points of damage each.
Yay! Alright,
Now
well,
you may...
do
Now you get to roll to recharge his breath again.
It's a 4 this time, so no,
it
not at
didn't
the moment.
recharge. Yep.
That's
Okay,
gonna be
so in
my turn,
your
please?
next turn, you'll roll to recharge again. So that's your turn done,
Okay.
unless you'd like to move somewhere or use a bonus action.
I don't have a whole lot that I
Throw
can use.
bombs, Bobbit.
I don't have any bombs. I spent them on explodey bullets instead. Anything for bonus action? Not really, no. Only
No.
spell.
Don't have any
only
spells
spell. The only,
that are bonus
the
action?
only bonus action spell I have is the Tooth Tentacle one. I don't really want to throw spells at this moment,
that's
so
fair.
I'm just gonna,
It's
I'll
Veska's
just
turn.
If
She takes a step forward. She casts Magic Missile, sending one missile into each of the mummies, dealing 5 points of force damage to them. And then she ducks into the tunnel from where the iron spear poked out, using it as cover. It's the mummy's turn. Mummy number 1 shuffles towards Veska and Sir Lucian. Its movement stiff and broken. It uses its rotting fist against Sir Lucian. And it hits, rolling a 24. Sir Lucian, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And an additional 6 points of necrotic damage, so 17 altogether. You must now make a constitution save, Sir Lucian. Let's see how we do. Constitution save.
Is he there?
I think he's there. I'll just roll it. Roll D20. His constitution is 4. That's a pass. You are not inflicted with mummy rot from that rotting fist. Actually, wait. He's got resurrection sickness. That's -2. That's 10, and that's a fail. So that means that unfortunately, Sir Lucian contracts mummy rot, which is a curse. The cursed target cannot regain hit points because its maximum hit points, whatever your current hit points are now, Sir Lucian, that is now your maximum hit points until mummy rot is dispelled.
Shit.
Would our charms of lesser restoration
They would
work on
fix that. Yeah, they would fix that.
There you go. Awesome.
And
I strongly suggest you do that.
I'll just check and see if lesser restoration does remove curses, because it's a curse, not a disease.
That is true.
Actually, lesser restoration does not remove curses.
Yeah.
Remove curse does, though, and that's a spell that that's a 3rd level spell that Bulb and Ava will get next level. So, or you'll have to pay a temple to do it. So yeah, so Sir Lucian, your current HP is now your max HP until the curse is restored. The mummy then uses its dread gaze on Bobbit, gazing at Bobbit, its red eyes flickering. I would like Bobbit to make a wisdom save, please. Actually,
is that an attack or a harmful spell?
It is a harmful condition. It will paralyze you if it succeeds.
Well, you're still gonna have to make the wisdom save since you chose to target me with that.
Yes, I know.
That's a DC 15 wisdom save.
The mummy gazes towards Bobbit, and then immediately it flinches, making a wisdom save of its own. That's a 13.
That's a fail, so you either have to choose a new target or forfeit targeting someone instead of me, potentially wasting it.
Turns its gaze towards Ava instead, refusing to look upon Bobbit. Ava, make a wisdom save.
Sorry. In my defense, I can't choose who he Choose
Oh,
the
I'll
target.
forgive you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Where is my wrong page? Or was it a wisdom?
Yeah,
17 plus 4.
17. You are not frightened.
You got this.
Okay.
I'm an angry bird.
You are. Okay. It is now Mummy 2's turn. It steps forwards and attacks Keeper. That's a nat 20.
Oh, shit. That's not funny.
Keeper
Smack my dragon up.
Keeper is taking... let me see. Keeper is taking
Remy
18...
is back.
Keeper is taking
I'll just be a
18
sec.
points of necrotic damage.
Eh.
22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, he's done.
Yep. Keeper, you hear
Mummy
Keeper's gears whir violently, and then he just looks over at you, opens his mouth in a mournful roar, and then hangs his head and goes inert. He will require some repairs to function again.
Oh, I'm gonna break these busts. They broke my toy.
So,
No.
Mummy 3 slurches forwards, and it can't get close enough to attack anyone, so it uses its fearful gaze on Bulb. And I will roll Bulb's wisdom save. And he passes and is not frightened.
He's coming.
What's looking at me?
You just had a mummy use its dreadful gaze upon you.
They broke my dragon.
Oh no! What the fuck is
Yeah,
that?
it needs to be repaired.
If you're wondering... sorry, in order to go the whole... You're probably wondering how we got to this point.
Yeah.
Bobbit might have gotten a little too greedy for her own good because we found a headband of intellect and...
In one of the sarcophagi in the crypt.
Her attempts to try and make sure it didn't activate. I failed by 1, so now we have to fight these guys.
Did I not relay that the puzzles are to tempt us into activating the traps?
You did, but Bobbit...
It's a headband of intellect. I want that 19 intelligence, sir.
She tried her
That's
best to get it without triggering the trap, but failed by 1.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
so...
she even banged out with scrap metal a fake one to replace the real one with.
I tried to do the whole Indiana Jones bit and it just barely failed.
And I think what's more worrying is that Sir Lucian is now cursed with mummy rot, and his maximum HP is his current HP.
He's fine.
And my current HP is still at the moment I'm at full HP, so...
Well, no, you did take 18 points of damage before you were cursed.
Oh, shit, I did too. Sorry,
Yeah.
yes. I didn't forget to mark that in.
Yeah,
would you potentially be able to send me back my sheet?
Yes. All I did, Remy... Well, actually, you can... All I did, Remy, is you haven't used any spell slots, you're back at full health, and you're down
Full
2
health?
hit dice during a short rest.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah, that's
lose
it.
2 hit dice, back to full health, and
Yeah.
didn't use any spells.
That's it.
Really-
But now you're
I really
making
did
a
try my
wisdom
best.
save.
Wisdom save. Oh, that's something that I can do.
Yes.
I'm really sorry. I really did try to make sure that nothing bad happened with that one, but
It's okay.
yeah.
Shit happens. That's a 16.
That's a 16. Okay. You are not frightened by the mummy's fearful gaze, and now it is Bulb's turn.
Oh, well, look at that.
I hate fire, by the way, just as a fun fact.
I seem to recall that from another time that we
Yes.
burnt a heap of these things.
Yes.
In that case, just give me a second to have a look at where we are. Burning hands. How much distance is that?
You'd probably
15-foot cone.
Yes,
so
you'd
would
probably
I
have to
be able-
move in front, in the same square as Sir Lucian, probably. Or just above Sir Lucian here.
Would I be able to hit the mummy 3? No, because that's 20 feet.
Yeah.
In that case, how far, is this like the first trap, or?
This is... You haven't even entered the Vault of Dragons yet. This was literally the crypt underneath the mausoleum.
Okay, good to know, good to
Yeah.
know, good to know. Well, in that case, I'm not going to waste not waste, but use another second level. In that case, I'm going to use Dissonant Whispers on Mummy 1.
Yep.
Let me just get it up. Because that isn't going to cost me a spell slot. Creature of your choice within range that can heal, racking it with pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you.
Lovely. Mummy's going to make its wisdom save.
And my save
your DC
is 15 at the moment.
I was going to say, unfortunately, it's an 18.
Damn.
Does it still take half damage?
On a successful... half as much damage, but doesn't move away.
Yeah.
So I'll roll
Go
a 3d6.
ahead, roll your damage.
3d6? Yeah, 3d6. That's okay. I didn't waste a spell slot, so that's fine. 6, so 3 damage.
The dissonant whispers echo through the crypt. The mummy clasps one of its hands to its ears and continues stumbling forwards. It is Ava's turn.
Okie dokie. Can you bring up the map, please?
Yep. There you go.
Thank you. I am gonna shoot. Wait. Fuck it, no, I'm gonna use my sword.
You gonna go up to Mummy 1 or Mummy 3?
The closest one.
Alright, so Mummy 1, go ahead and attack.
Can you give me a d20, please? Thank you. And, bring up my sheet, please. 13 plus 8.
13 plus 8. Okay, that is a hit. Roll for damage.
What is it? A d6, thank you. It was a 5 plus 5, so 10.
10 points of damage, not bad, plus your psychic.
And my d4, that was a 2.
Yep, it's 12 points of damage altogether. Gonna go for your second attack.
I'm gonna use Favored Foe.
Yep, that's your bonus action. Okay, so you don't get your offhand attack, you now just get your normal second attack. Yep. You declare Mummy 1 your favored foe. Make your extra attack.
That is 19.
19, that's a hit. Roll for damage.
Oh. That is 8.
Hear one of its bones shatter as you slam the blade of your sword into its torso.
Yep, and another d4.
Yep.
That was your 1.
Yep, favored foe.
Yep. Yeah, I only got 1.
Only got 1, that's fine. Still a big chunk of damage. Okay, it is Sir Lucian's turn. See there? M1, as your internet swallowed you up in the black hole again.
Seems to have.
Seems so. Ah, there we go.
Ooh,
or his microphone is. So, yep. Ah, microphone. Ah, yep. So what would you like to do? Hit Mummy 1 with your charged blade? Charge blade the bastard, okay. You grip your charge blade and you swing at the mummy. Go ahead and roll to hit him. 4 plus. Would you like to, let me see, do you have any maneuvers that will allow you to actually do anything? No, unfortunately. Yeah, you miss. You swing with your charge blade, and as you swing, you step forward, and your foot slips on a banana peel that, if anyone was watching, they would have seen it just tossed out of one of the spear tunnels on the sides of the hallway, and you manage to avoid falling over, but you swing your sword and it just cuts hopelessly through the air next to the mummy. And then you hear a female voice somewhere in the darkness just giggling.
Huh.
It is.
Yeah, that was.
It is now Bobbit's turn.
Okay, well, dragon. I don't need to roll for my dragon's fire breath because it's currently
Yeah, you don't
broken.
need to do that. So you
that's
just
a problem to deal with later. So I guess I will just happily gun this mummy down.
go ahead.
That's a 24 to hit.
24 to hit. That's definitely a hit.
That's going to be, and that's a 10, so that's going to be 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Boom! And you're just using a normal bullet.
Yeah, just a normal one. I'm going to try and save some of these.
Right.
Yeah.
You fire your gun and reduce Mummy 1's head to a cloud of dust and smoke.
Boop.
It's now Veska's turn. She fires a ray of frost at Mummy 3 and misses. It's the Mummy's turn. Mummy 3 lurches forwards towards Ava, and it swings with its rotting fist. So Ava, that is going to be an 11! Ava, you dodge as the rotting fist swings over your head. It then...
Yeah.
Its red eyes then glare at you with its dreadful glare. Please make a wisdom save.
I'm going to have to roll for her because she
Yep.
is not here.
No, it's fine. Just roll for her.
Ooh, she's going to hate me. What's her wisdom save? Wisdom save is 12.
12. Okay, so that's fine. She is not frightened. Mummy
Yay.
number 2 lurches forwards. And it makes a rotting fist strike against Ava.
You idiots. You absolute idiots.
You fools.
And
you
it nat
foolish fool.
20s.
Oh,
Gosh,
shit.
this one really likes nat 20. Okay, so that's going to be 16 points of bludgeoning damage plus 18 points of necrotic damage.
I'm really sorry.
16 bludge.
And 18 necrotic. Yep.
Yeah.
I'll let her work that out when she gets
And
back.
she now needs to make a constitution save to avoid catching mummy rot.
I'm sorry. Whole fight's
You
my
roll that.
fault.
You roll that. I'm not. You roll that. A constitution save.
Yep.
6.
Hey.
That's a 9.
A 9.
Oh, shit.
You are cursed by the mummy. Your current HP is now your maximum HP until the
Oh,
curse is lifted.
shit.
You gotta take that. That's the damage that you just took before the curse, so I don't know what health you're at.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Let me just get the calculator up.
This
Yeah.
is all like... she's not happy with me from that.
The calculator. Hold on. 47, take away 16, take away 18.
Oh god, you have like bugger all.
Oh! Your max health is 13.
Oh, oh god.
That's
we,
not good.
Oh no.
Okay, you are afflicted with the mummy's curse. It is Bulb's turn.
Does anyone have third level spells to learn?
Remove
Like Great
curse.
Restoration is in the... Yeah.
You need remove curse.
Is it 3rd level?
It is 3rd level.
Can druids change spells during a short rest?
They can.
Okay, after
Yeah.
this fight, we're short resting. And I'm not
okay.
using
Like
any
me,
of my...
and I am gonna spend an entire hour either fixing my dragon and apologizing to everyone repeatedly.
Okay, so you said it was Bulb's turn now?
Yep. Bulb's
Yeah.
turn.
He takes 1 step forward,
Yep. In front of Vesta.
rubs his hands together, opens his beak, and burning hands.
Burning
both of those.
hands.
Can I burning hands both of them from there?
Yes, you sure can. They're going to
Yes.
make dex saves. Let's see how they go. They're not very good at this. So that's
You
going
don't,
to
because that's
be-
why I went there. So
Ah,
it hits those two.
so
Uh,
4 and nat 1. So you're
So they
fine.
both fail.
Burn them all.
So Sir Lucian's max health is only down by how much?
By
18.
18, yeah.
So what's your max health then?
His max health right
40.
now, yeah, is 40.
I'm going to upcast Burning Hands to a 3rd level.
Okay.
Boy.
which makes it... When you cast this spell level using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the damage increases by 1d6 for each spell slot.
Yep.
So they both failed, which means they now take 5d6 doubled each.
Yes. Which may finish them off.
We can only hope.
4 dice, so that's 12 plus a 6, that's 18 doubled.
18
so that's
doubles,
36.
so that's 36, and they've already been attacked by Keeper, and so both mummies go down a flaming pile of gauze and bone before you, and that is the end of combat.
Alright, sorry. Bobbit is sorry.
But Bobbit has the headband of intellect now, so...
Do I have to attune to that?
You do have to attune to it.
That makes sense. Okay, well in that case, I didn't. I personally didn't lose any health in that, which just makes me feel that much worse.
If you want, Bob, you don't have to take a short rest. I can just say that you prepared, in the previous short rest we took, you could prepare Remove Curse then.
May as well short rest, because after this short rest casting, I'll have no 3rd levels left anyway. So we may as well do it. I'll cast it, and everyone can
very well
heal up using dice.
While he's doing that, I'd like to go and cast Mending on Keeper to try and fix him up a little bit. I probably won't be able to...
Cast Mending on Keeper. You notice that some of the gears begin to turn again. However, you'll have to use a portion of your black powder to restore his fire breath.
You're not cursed anymore, so now you can heal with your dice.
Yep.
So he's probably not going to be much use to us for the rest of this dungeon, unfortunately.
So you've mended him back to half HP. You will, in order to fully fix him, we will require a Tinker's Tools check and the use of black powder to restore him.
That's... I was kind of hoping to keep him a little bit...
Quick question. Do we add con mod to short rest?
You do.
You do, yes.
So you're all taking a short rest. Anyone who would like to heal, you may spend more hit dice. So did you cure Sir Lucian or only Ava?
Only Ava, because I only have 2 spell slots.
That's fair enough.
40 HP should be okay for the guy with high...
Fine. Should be fine.
D10s?
Yes, and Sir Lucian's got his 2nd wind and everything anyway.
That's
and
true.
He's got 2 potions of
heal. But my max HP is still...
40, yeah. Until...
low.
So we'll heal you after the dungeon, but in the meantime you do have plenty of healing to keep you alive, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. Bobbit, do you need to spend hit dice and heal?
I honestly only have like 4 missing, so that's not a big deal.
Yep, so it's mainly
I will be sending Keeper off, unfortunately, because he's damaged 5 breaths out, so he's not going to be much
that was
use
a nasty crit, but he did get his
That's
MVP play for today with what he did to the Treants.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So you dispel Keeper, and he disappears in a haze of magical energy, returning to your workshop in the basement of Troll Skull Manor.
It's a big basement.
You complete your rest, and you feel prepared to move on, knowing that the cave-in to the east is apparently but an illusion. Is anyone game to touch it?
Bobbit's just going to sit still. Bobbit's learned her lesson of touching things.
So while you were gone, they found at the end of the crypt right here, there is a cave-in preventing them from heading further east. However, you detected magic as a ritual, and you determined that there was illusion magic emanating from that cave-in.
Okay, before we do anything else, what's a potion of healing again? 2d4 plus
2d4 plus 2.
2d4
plus 2, yeah. The plus 4 is from the next level up.
Right, gotcha.
Kitty's still trying to heal. Oh, Ava's still trying to heal.
Still healing.
Yep. Sorry.
Did anyone do a perception for what else is around this crypt? Like, if there's any other way out, or...
Yeah, and it appeared that this cave-in is literally the only way forward.
Okay,
I was doing really well up till this point. Like, I did a really good job of moving through here. I only set up one trap that didn't hurt anyone, and then we kind of screwed the pooch on the mummies.
I will point out that if you had found a way to get through this area without needing to deactivate the traps, the mummies could have walked into the traps.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I use a wild shape charge to summon Sned.
Yep.
Away from everyone so he doesn't blow anyone up.
Yep. Sned appears in a cloud of flame over near the sarcophagi.
And I send him through the illusory wall.
He looks at you and he goes, yep, yep, yep. And then he bursts through the group and runs clear through the cave-in.
Do I have any sense that he may have been destroyed, or...
Nope, he appears to be perfectly fine. In fact, you give it a few minutes, then you can hear from the other side of the cave-in, yep, yep, yep!
I stroll on through.
You stroll on through, and the cave-in appears to have no substance whatsoever. It's a pure illusion. You step right through it, and move on to the other side.
Puppet's just gonna follow everyone else and not touch anything from now on.
And so, after several minutes of walking through this tunnel, moving deeper and deeper into the earth, you finally come to the entrance of the Vault of Dragons. And so here we are. A 20-foot high, 20-foot wide stone corridor ends before an adamantine double door bearing dwarvish runes. The doors have neither handles nor hinges. Does anyone know how to read dwarvish?
No, I don't. Anyone?
I will be right back, but I believe Ava does.
Ava can. Yep.
Come. Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm just getting a charger to charge her phone so she can continue listening.
So, Ava, you step forward.
2 seconds, she's not actually listening at the moment.
Alright.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
That's okay. Yep, just get her a charger.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So, this is the dungeon proper. So, this is where there's going to be some nasty traps.
Oh yeah, because we were doing so well up to this point.
But we probably won't get to do them this week, but you did at least get to the dungeon. We'll just see if you can gain entrance to it. Yeah, we did.
And we had some fun roleplay today. It was good. I liked.
We'll just see if you can actually gain entrance to the dungeon before we stop playing.
Any D&D is better than no D&D at this point.
Yes. Well, today was still good. Still got 2 fights.
Oh, absolutely.
Still got a treasure. Got some fun roleplay.
Yeah. Oh, I like treasure. I like the treasures. Bobbit got some work done.
Yes, and everyone in chat's enjoying it too. I see BCG and Naruto Shadow, and also Mikey Mayhem all enjoying it, saying that today's session's very interesting. So glad everyone is enjoying this episode after our break.
Queen Bobbit thanks you for your patronage.
And I'd like to thank the 6 people who followed on Twitch. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
What'd I miss?
So you can read Dwarvish? Would you like to read the runes on the door?
Yes.
The writing in the runes that's engraved into the adamantine doors reads, "The 3 vault keys. Bring them forth." It then goes on to list what the 3 keys are. A feather of new life, the blood of the proud, and an eye stalk of the many-seer.
Okay, well,
so my feather.
Alright, so
blood of solution.
Yeah, solution's blood, your feather, and I'm gonna have to ask Blinky to give up one of his stalks.
They grow back.
They do.
Well, if if someone was here, we could have taken the ice stalk that he took from a dead beholder.
Yeah, well.
Does anyone have any
Unfortunately.
stuffed
Saw your
beholders?
eye twitch.
Yes, Bobbit has many stuffed beholders.
Would
They
you
count.
like?
They count.
You can try them.
See, but now all of a sudden I'm now not happy because that usually means no shipples. I mean, we can always try it and see what happens first.
Why am I unmuting myself to talk? They can hear me through here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
All
You're
right,
very
so-
quiet, but we can hear you.
All right. Take.
yeah.
So somebody put. I was gonna say. Yep. So Bold put a feather forward. Somebody stabs Sir Lucian, and I'll go get a stuffed beholder
Yep,
stalk and see
so
if that
you-
works first.
Did someone
Right.
say stab Sir Lucian?
You gotta
Yep.
just draw blood.
You know I will get angry.
Would you like to draw your own blood, Sir Lucian? Just make a little cut.
Oh, no. I'd like to... Please, stab me. Go right ahead. I am willing to expend a superiority die for this.
Well,
Just
you'll
leave
only be
for
losing
God's sake.
you'll only be losing 1 HP. That's all you'll be losing. Just
Oh, but
letting
that's
it be
fine. The
blood.
next person is going to
Yeah.
get a parry in the face.
Okay, for God's sake, just cut yourself, you wuss.
I shall do that.
You step
Good job.
forwards.
Ask me nicely.
Yes, sure, why not?
So Lucian, you sigh in exasperation. You step forward, and using your pocket knife, you cut a small cut above your wrist, and little drop of blood drops down at the foot of the door. You take 1 point of damage, but then you quickly bandage up the wound, and you look at everyone, and you hope that they're grateful.
Sounds about right.
Bulb
I had to give up a feather.
Yeah, Bulb extracts a feather from his new Owlfolk body and lets it float down to the foot of the door. Bobbit, you take one of your stuffed beholders. Actually, you only had the one, didn't you?
I did grab another one
Oh,
when
you
we
did grab
found the
another
box
one, yeah.
for them.
So you're gonna the one you took from the Zoblob shop, or you're gonna cut a
No,
eye stalk
that
off
one's-
the other one? That other one's
I'll take-
sacred.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Zoblob one is sacred. So we'll try that, and if nothing happens, Bobbit will sadly ask Blinky.
You take out the stuffed beholder and you reach over, take Bulb's pocket knife and saw off one of the eye stalks, and then you drop it in front of the door next to Sir Lucian's blood and Bulb's feather. There is a great rumbling sound, and the doors part, sliding back into the walls,
Huh.
revealing the Vault of Dragons on the other side. We'll just...
Hey, that worked. Mhm.
You step in, and here, in the Vault of Dragons, we shall end this week's session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, alright.
Well, we went. Yep. So we'll go to we'll start going to 6:30 from next week. It's just that I
Fair
don't
enough.
really want to cut this dungeon up into 2 parts.
That's
And
cool.
I think
Fair enough,
next
fair
week's
enough.
session will be more than enough to handle it. So you got to the session, we made some. You got to the dungeon, entered it at the end of the session. We got some progress. You got some fights. Bobbit got some treasure. So Lucian is still cursed with a HP maximum of 40, but hopefully
fine.
next week he'll be able to pull through.
He's still cursing.
You
And
can
so.
curse me all you want. I outrank you now.
And so, I hope everyone enjoyed this week's episode of D&D. We certainly enjoyed playing after our Easter break. We'll be back
Yes.
with another episode next week as the party presses forth into the Vault of the Dragons. But before then, I believe, Tuesday next week, Remy's campaign will be
Yes.
returning.
It's
Yeah.
fucking returning. I don't care what's happening.
Yep. So
Yeah.
2 D&D episodes next week, and of course, tune in tomorrow, and I'll be doing a Friday horror stream of Resident Evil.
Yeah.
But until then, we've enjoyed having you. Thank you very much to BCG, our patron, and to Kitty as well.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much for
Yeah.
joining us this week. We missed you. We hope you missed us. And until next time, when you find a headband of intellect in a very suspicious sarcophagus, leave it alone.
Bollocks! It's worse.